Painkiller already, episode 383 with our guest, Mr. Metokur. Kyle?
Yeah, a couple sponsors tonight. We've got Get Quip and Archer Danger Island is returning. We'll talk about those guys more later on in the show. But yeah, we got Mr. Metokur here. For those of you who are unfamiliar, just stop right now, watch a couple of YouTube videos of his from his Internet Insanity series, and come back to us after that. Sir, Jim, as you like to be known, you're a mysterious individual. I like that about you. That's the first thing I liked. I was like, well, what's his name? Jim was like, oh, he doesn't give out his name. I was like, well, what does he look like? No one knows. Oh, all right. Let me get into this a little more. And then I see that you're exposing pedophiles on the internet. You're facing off against these insane people who are literally criminals on the internet and exposing them. And I really enjoy it. And of course you do more lighthearted things like the gang stalking video and stuff like that.
Well, that's lighthearted for us. They're schizophrenics who are freaking the fuck out.
Everyone's anti-pedophile.
Except, well, not everyone.
I just say, like, look, these are charitable men bringing children towards their sexual maturation, and Mr. Metokur goes and fucks it up.
Yeah, I'm a terrible bully, interfering with the love that they're expressing to the innocents. Yeah.
Hey, they're doing what was it that one guy said? Ethical child porn?
Oh no! Oh God, yeah. How did he put it? He was quoting somebody too that used to work for Salon. Virtuous pedophilia.
I don't like that.
What kind of gymnastics do you have to be involved in to convince yourself? Or rather, what kind of a fucked up crowd do you have to like roll with that you're tossing this idea around over a couple beers and you're like, yeah, people will buy that. Like, no, fucking of course not. You're a pedophile. We hate you.
Yeah, it sounds good. I think I'll roll with that one and people won't throw stones at my head. When I started my channel and the focus of my content is mostly laughing at absurd things on the internet. But for whatever reason, over the last, I'd say 4 or 5 months, it has just been nonstop. You dig a few layers down and there's some pedophilia. Ross is probably the most recent example, and that got a little over the line even for me, because it's not just a guy that's espousing, hey, I like to look at naked kids on the internet, hey, I'm a pedophile. He's talking about really violent things like, I want to shoot up a school, I want to hurt little kids. And then he starts saying that you can't stop me, I also work at a school. He volunteers at a school 1 day a week. Mm-hmm. So now you've got a situation where a guy is talking about not just a sexual attraction to kids, not wanting to just hurt them, but he's got access to them 1 day a week, and that's crazy.
You had a really interesting take on that guy. I liked it. You were like, you know what? You need to be put up against a wall and shot. You said it straight to the man's face. Like there's sort of a Skype call or a Discord or something or another where it's there's maybe 4 of you in there, and that disgusting autistic pedophile is in there with you. And you literally say, you need to be put up against a wall. He's like, I feel like you're all picking on me. We are. We don't care about your feelings. You're a fucking pedophile.
No, and Chiz just pointed out, he kept saying in the stream I was watching, I'm not a pedophile. I'm a child molester. I'm not a child molester. I'm a pedophile. And it's like, only a pedophile could think that this is some get out of jail free card. It's like, no, you want to fuck children.
Can you just catch up?
That's
a little
enough.
bit?
Is enough. Oh yes.
Is he saying that? Is the guy's defense that he doesn't actually do anything? He just fantasizes. Is that what he's saying?
Well, I can give you kind of the basic rundown.
Yeah.
I ran into this guy about 7 months ago, and it was by pure happenstance. I just was looking through live streams. YouTube has that feature you can kind of go through stuff, and I found one that had maybe like 3 people watching. It was like the bottom of the barrel live stream, and the moment I happened to just tune into this one is the moment that somebody says, but Ross, you said you looked up naked children on the internet. And I was like, okay, well, we've got gold here, because I can't go away now. I have to see where this conversation goes. And he started going on and on saying things like, well, I want to be a father. I really want to be a father, so I like to look at videos of naked children on the internet. That was his rationale for it. Then the guy follows up within about 30 seconds and he says, but what about those Discord messages you sent us where you said that you have a problem and you need to seek professional help about it? And I was like, this is insane. So I was able to get onto the live stream and I talked to him about it. And it got a bit heated between myself and him. I ended up doing a video, and this bizarre cast of characters that he happened to know kind of got sucked into it. You had somebody who was like a Twitch streamer, Nuclear Gamer, was like, Metokur, if you cover this, we're going to hack you. We're going to hit all your accounts. We're going to dox you. You're going to get taken down. Then they tried to say that they knew people in Lizard Squad. We're going to get all these people from, these notorious groups to come after you. The funny thing is, I'd say maybe a month later down the road, The person they were, saying that was on their side from Lizard Squad was like, I have no idea who these people are, and I wouldn't defend a pedophile.
For people listening, Lizard Squad is a big name, like hacking DDoS thing. They've taken down Minecraft, Xbox Live, etc.
Yeah, they were throwing out anything to try to get me to stop focusing on it. What ends up happening is his grandmother watches my video and takes him off the internet. So I dug into it. He made a lot of statements. He got very angry at people. He would dox people and scream at people. So his grandma watches it, pulls him off the internet. You're done. Now, what I didn't know between that first video and this most recent occurrence was he got, this is alleged, I can't verify it, but people who said they were in contact with his family said that he freaked out so badly he sent his grandfather into like a panic attack that triggered a heart attack.
This guy about 25 years old, maybe?
Yeah, he's about 22, 23 years old.
Okay.
So the grandmother's like, that's it, you're gone. You're out of this house. We're not going to take care of you anymore. This is too far over the line. They put him into a halfway house or to some kind of rehab, autist house. I don't know what it is exactly. And the minute he gets in there, he takes the money he had saved up and he buys a smartphone, and he's right back on the internet doing the exact same thing again. I can do whatever I want. Nobody can stop me. And it comes out that, he's telling people that he's working at a school in his area, that he has access to kids, and that, he's not just watching videos of naked children anymore. He's outright saying, I'm a pedophile. I'm a virtuous pedophile.
And you left out the bloodlust part. And I'd never heard anyone use the phrase bloodlust, especially not to describe themselves. He says he has bloodlust. And I believe what he's inferring with that is that he is addicted to sort of the idea of inflicting extreme bodily harm on others. He wants to injure and maim and hurt other people.
Not just others, children too.
Well,
there was
actually,
one phrase where he's like, I want to kick a kid to death or some ridiculous shit.
Well, Jim asked him that. He was like, well, you could hurt these kids. He's like, I wouldn't hurt the kids. They're far too fragile. It was almost like they weren't enough. I'm not sure if they weren't enough challenge to him. Like he wanted something that he could really inflict a lot of pain into.
He's a pretty swole pedophile. Yeah.
It's disturbing. It's crazy.
It's one of those lines. I mean, yeah, I ended up getting very heated with the guy, but I mean, that's one of those lines for me. I think that's a line for a lot of people. You can deal with a lot of goofy stuff online. You can deal with a lot of really weird fetishes and weird opinions and weird behaviors. But I think when you run into somebody that is just unrepentant about it, I not only am I attracted to kids, but I want to hurt them, and then I have access to them. It that triggers something in I think almost anybody that they're like, this guy needs to be dealt with. From what I understand too, again, this conversation that I had with him was on a live stream. Right, he ended up coming on a live stream after the third video, and we had it out. Yeah. That's where I told him I'd line him up against the wall. His grandmother watched that as well. If you listen to the video, you can hear his phone go off about 38 times. And that's his grandmother watching this take place, trying to call him and say, what are you doing? You need to stop.
Wow.
It's just nuts.
Earlier in the stream, like, I guess this was like the beginning part of it, because I think I watched the whole thing. He tried to act. It took him probably 15 fucking minutes of you telling him, hey, it's not normal to look up images of kids bathing naked on the internet just because you want to be a father. And you could tell he's a genuine pedophile because it did not register with him that was not normal. Yeah. It's like, I'm just looking up kids bathing. How is that weird? I didn't even jack off to it. It's like, that's right. Not the fucking point, retard. You don't look up naked kids bathing. If you're like, I'm excited to be a father, maybe look up, kids sports or whatever the fuck I can't wait to teach my kid baseball. Oh, I can't wait to do this. Like, you don't go to bathing. You're a pedophile. Everyone who's not a pedophile can see that.
And it follows up on there was another person on the internet, and I how do I go into the details of the story without getting too descriptive? But a guy named Nick.
Feel free.
Yeah,
get as descriptive as you would like.
As you wish.
All right, remember you asked me that, so yeah. All right. Another guy named Nick Bate. Nick Bate made outrageous claims, kind of like Ross did. Said I'm attracted to kids. I like kids. Turns out Nick Bate has a little sister, stepsister. Now, Nick Bates, and he's in jail right now. He went to jail because he molested her. But the thing that was so disgusting about Nick Bates is, I mean, he went on for years talking about how he wanted to molest kids. He wrote fan fiction about it. He acted unrepentant about it, acted like it was a normal thing altogether. He was also, I think it's called a corpophiliac.
Yes.
So he was into shit play, basically.
Yes.
when he ended up getting contacted by law enforcement, he thought he had the brilliant idea that the best way to prove to the judge that he wasn't a pedophile was to send a video of him masturbating with a piece of shit and say, see, this is how I get my rocks off. Clearly, I can't molest children. I want to play with poop.
Solid logic. If you jack off with shit, you must acquit.
Right. So it's that mindset. It's like they don't understand that there's something off, right? It's like they can't see it themselves. Kind of going back to your point of when he's talking about I'm looking up kids naked in the bathtub. It's like they just it's right there, but they can't grasp onto it. But with Nick Bates, nobody took him seriously, and eventually he did do something with a kid. With Ross coming out and saying I have access to kids, that kind of fucked me up a little bit, made me angry because I don't want to read a story 5 months from now where this guy's doing something.
Why do you think pedophilia is so prevalent? From the outside, I think most of us see it as a very rare occurrence. Because in our day-to-day lives, we don't meet a single individual who is a pedophile. And of course, you wouldn't, because if you are a pedophile and you're sane, see, I think that's the key takeaway here. I think is this: the people that are easily discovered as pedophiles aren't all there to begin with. They have a whole host of other things wrong with them. Like both of these individuals aren't all there. They're no good at covering up their desires for children. But I think that pedophilia is rampant. I'm always reading on Reddit about a cell of of men getting shut down who are trading pictures or images or videos. I'm always hearing about like international and I'm hearing about like politicians and all these like secret organizations, and they make it seem like there is an underground enormous group of pedophiles, of pedophile rings.
Are these people getting caught, especially ones live streaming their pedo instincts, crying for help? Do they recognize the problem on some level?
Not these particular
two guys. They were almost doing it to show they could. It seemed like, where it's like, I can get away with this. I can say whatever I want. Oh, I want to do this, that, and the other thing. Nobody's going to stop me. And it was like, okay, this is a dangerous kind of person to be out there, because they will eventually do it. It's not, oh, I'm a virtuous pedophile. I only looked at CP once or twice. It's like, well, you went back again, didn't you? You're going to do something.
And they also weren't socially evolved enough, these two individuals in particular, to even know that they were really stepping that far out of bounds, it seemed, because they were like, hey, no big deal. I just read a little fan fiction. No big deal. I just wrote, some text messages. Yeah, I guess I mentioned that my 8-year-old half sister has acne on her boobs and that it kind of looks like nipples and I want to lick them. But hey, that's normal, right? I mean, it's fan fiction. Yeah, those are pictures of me cross-dressing, and no, I don't ever shower. I pretend to, though, so Granny won't get on my case. It's like,
but that'll fool. Like that shows the mentality of them. That's like a 4-year-old mentality of like, if I pretend to shower and leave the water on and leave smelling like asshole, Grandma will be tricked. It's like, no, you're a 22-year-old. You just have the mentality of a 4-year-old when it comes to hiding your pedophilic nonsense.
Well, that was one of the weird things. I mean, especially when you kind of compare Nick to Ross. Nick is into corpophilia, so I'm sure the smell and the dirtiness of it, never brushed his teeth, never showered. Ross wore diapers till the age of 12. Wouldn't take a shower. His grandmother had to yell at him for a month to get him to finally shower by telling him his balls stink the house up. In the halfway house that he's in, they had to have a staff worker wash his ass because he refused to do it.
Oh my God!
Is this a halfway house for pedophiles? How much is that guy getting paid?
I want
not enough.
As much as I'm enjoying you, Jim, a much better guest, I must admit, would be the man at the halfway house who has to wash that guy's ass. I want him here right now. As soon as the call started, there'd be tears, right? You'd see him welling up in his eyes.
You have to keep barging into different rooms. Hey, no Nick Jr.
So this guy,
it would
parental
be the
control.
World's most awful job. Yeah.
The one in diapers until 12. He's the same one that doesn't bathe. Is that the deal? I'm mixing up my people.
The diaper one, I think, is the bathtub. The guy who was looking up pictures in the bathtub, right, Jim?
Yeah. Okay. So the diaper guy is Ross. Ross is the one that wore diapers till he was 12. Ross is the one that doesn't bathe. Ross is the one that has to have somebody wipe his ass, and that's the guy who said should get lined up against the wall. Nick, it was just somebody that was into corpophilia, but it's weird how it's kind of similar. It's just dirt, filth, they almost brag about what they're into.
This sort of forms a pattern for me, because the individual who refused to wash, do we know if he was molested as a child?
No, this is interesting. He claimed that he was abused by his father, right? And so people assumed that meant it was sexual molestation. I actually got angry with him about this because it came out later on that he was abused. It was physical abuse. That's why the family. That's why the family split. But he made it seem like he was molested, like that was his out. Like, oh, see, because I was molested, now I'm molested. And you need to lay off of me. That gives me the excuse for my behavior. I don't know if it's that pedophilia has become more prevalent or if it's just more noticeable because everybody's online now. Yeah. And so you can kind of see what was hidden before because it's just presented out in the open.
So an interesting scenario that comes to mind for me, like I knew a girl who had a friend who was also a female, and she had been molested by her father when she was very young. And as a result, she didn't bathe anymore. As an adult, she no longer bathed. And she would stay filthy all the time. Now, the reason she did this was it had become a defensive mechanism for her as a preteen to prevent her father from molesting her.
Yeah, I've seen Oz.
I guess it's a bit like that as well. But this is literally like a coping mechanism that she had fallen into, was becoming filthy and smelly so that her father wouldn't molest her. And it makes me just wonder now that I think about this individual, not to really give him it. If he hears this, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, all right, yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened.
that ship has fucking sailed for that guy. But like, I think wearing diapers up until you're like 13 or 12 or whatever it is, that's sometimes indicative of having been molested as a kid, isn't it? Like bedwetting until an older age. Not that any of this excuses it, but it's just curious.
Well, I know he's claimed that he had mental issues, and I think that's pretty obvious when you're listening to the guy. Aside from just like autism, we're not just talking like autism or Asperger's or something like that. He told multiple friends, and this is consistent throughout the years, that he had a form of schizophrenia. I don't remember my like entry-level intro psych classes and stuff, but I vaguely remember that there were two types of that, and one was more of an internal type, and people with schizophrenia could be prone to not wanting to wash. They were kind of introverted. They could fall into like deep depressions. So I mean, maybe that's like an affect of that. Maybe that's part of it. But he tried to grab anything he could, and he was using I can't remember the guy's name, but the virtuous pedophile thing came from a salon writer who wrote all these articles saying, I'm not a monster, I'm a pedophile. But then it turns out that, okay, you are a bit of a monster because you're more than just a pedophile. You're getting into some things that are pretty underhanded. Salon pulled the articles because of it. And that's the guy Ross is going to. He was holding him up as a prime example of a virtuous pedophile. Somebody afflicted, but he's a good guy, but turns out he's not a good guy.
Who could have seen that coming?
I know, it's a shock.
Do you mean to imply there are no virtuous pedophiles?
That was my next question. I wanted to poll the group here. Do we think that there can be a virtuous pedophile?
I think there can be.
No.
So here's my thing. I think there are people who feel a pull to maybe a drug they used to be addicted to, right? There are ex-alcoholics. Right? People who are like, man, this is the kind of situation where I would have drank before, but I know what happens, and that's not for me anymore. I think there are people who do that with all kinds of drugs. I imagine there are people who feel the pull towards pedophile and just say, no, like, I get how hot 4-year-olds are, but it's not for me.
I feel like it's almost a layer deeper, though, because you may have a predisposition for alcoholism, but it's still like a choice you're making, like to get into it. That sexual attraction that a pedophile has for children, like if that is ingrained, it seems like there's really no way for them to truly combat it, and it's almost going to be only a matter of time until something happens.
I'm just cautious about nailing people to the wall as thought police, right? Action police, fucking line them up and shoot them, right? But thought police, is that against the law?
Would you want one of these recovering pedophiles in your neighborhood? At your child's school, like what if he's at parkour with Colin, and he's the one who grabs the kids by their waist and gives them a little boost so they can make the jumps?
Is he a good waist grabber? I don't know.
I bet he's a great.
You can see his fingers trembling.
He's been thinking about it every night for months.
He's got an emergency Tate move just in case he doesn't make it.
I don't like how the instructor has to go sit down after every time he helps.
No, I guess it sounds like this guy needs to be institutionalized, right? From what I'm hearing, he hasn't done anything bad, but he's really headed down the wrong road. And
yeah, he's throwing up every red flag you can. I do kind of tend to agree with you about the thought police thing. I mean, we're talking about two individuals. Like with Nick, that was somebody who definitely acted on it. Ross is somebody that's almost guaranteeing that he's going to act on it by making statements about wanting to hurt kids. Are there virtuous pedophiles? I mean, I'm sure there are people out there that have all sorts of really negative aspects of who they are that try their hardest to fight against them. I'm sure there are people that probably take it to the limit, people that get chemically castrated, people that do whatever they think they need to do to prevent themselves from hurting somebody else. But Ross is definitely not one of them. I think this guy is dangerous. I know people have contacted the police department. I called up a non-emergency number to report him. People have talked to different sheriff's department because one of the issues is, where is he exactly? You kind of had a general idea of where he is, but you don't know exactly where he is, and how do you alert who you need to alert? People try dropping tips to the FBI. People talk to his family. So it's one of those things where, I just really don't want to read a news story 2 months from now and be like, that's the guy that I was making videos on, and now here he is hurting kids in a classroom. I mean, I think if you have that in your nature, at the very least, if you want to claim to try to be a virtuous pedophile and fight against the nature of it, don't work with kids. I think would be a very simple first step. Yeah.
This is not the virtuous pedophile that we just described. Like I was quickly reminded of that movie, The Woodsman, with Kevin Bacon, where he gets out of prison after 12 years, convicted pedophile, and he tries to stay away from any temptation. He tries to get his life back together. He didn't go get a job at a school, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not what you do. This man should be putting himself in an environment that is completely free of children, where children aren't even allowed.
A nursing home.
A brewery, like maybe you and there's probably an alcoholic somewhere working at a brewery. You and that guy swap lives, all right? Like both of you are going to be better off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like get him in there with the kids. He'll be a little tipsy at first, but somebody will watch him.
Yeah, he'll be funny.
I guess it's more about
him.
the precautions they're taking to keep themselves away. Like if they're like, oh, I'm a pedophile, but I'm going to go live in rural North Dakota, and be a oil rig worker where it's only adults, then yeah, you're trying at least. Like I'm going to be wary of you because you've admitted you're a pedophile. But if you're like, oh, I'm recovering, I don't work at a school or anything, I work at a bank, and it's like, oh, you live 3 miles from an elementary school, like that you shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to be driving through school zones and stuff. Like if I were afflicted with something like that, I would have to.
Speed limit's 20, not 3. Just drive it slowly.
Let's be safe.
I feel like
dropped your ball.
The only truly virtuous pedophiles are the ones who take the route of either chemical castration. Jesus, Taylor, there's another option: chemical castration, or they do literally put themselves in a position where there just aren't any children. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one. An oil rig in North Dakota seems to get the job done, honestly. But how long is it before like the boss's daughter comes to visit or something like that? And you're, I don't know. It seems like
too much money. They're going to be popping up Chuck E. Cheese franchises around, getting too confident.
Having a pedophile on your workforce or in your life seems like befriending someone who has a cougar as a pet. Like, oh yeah, he's friendly with me. Well, the first time your girlfriend comes over and she's wearing the wrong perfume, she's going to need a face transplant, right? Like, it's not worth the risk.
Well, and one of the weird things that factors into this, and I did a video on this maybe 3 or so weeks back, was the kerfuffle that happened at Facebook, where they put up a poll asking users, would you be okay if men were asking young girls for erotic pictures? That was somebody in the PR marketing looking to slip that into the survey data. Or you've got stuff like YouTube, where they had just all sorts of things. I mean, they had the massive culling of channels that were really bizarre stuff. I mean, it was a lot of preteens that were wearing diapers and sucking on pacifiers and just doing some really bizarre stuff, toy channels and that kind of stuff. There was the YouTube search algorithm that auto-completed something to how to have sex with your kids when you entered how to. So, it's just, I think maybe some of the tech firms out there might want to just, give it an extra look over before they start surveying user bases about sending erotic pics from teenagers or, looking up kids dressed up naked or how to have sex with them.
You use a song that you're not supposed to use, you're down in 30 seconds. You can make an Elsa and Spider-Man video where it's like 2 adults dressed up and it's like, oh, Elsa performs fake blowjob on Spider-Man. It's like 60 million views. Been up for 3 months. You know, oh, Spider-Man is naughty, gets a spanking from
At
the
least
Hulk.
100,000 of those views are me.
Then that's still far too many. But yeah, that is a curious trend with the tech world.
Yeah, it is. But I don't want to make it seem like I'm Mr. Metokur pedophile hunter. It's just been very bizarre that I've run into this groove. It seems to kind of be a reoccurring thing, at least over the last couple of months. I mean, my majority focus is looking at absurd things on the internet or laughing at goofy stuff on the internet. That's kind of what I enjoy. But you start looking at the goofy, absurd stuff, the outliers that are kind of on the fringes, and you're going to start seeing a lot of crossover with some darker stuff.
Yeah, especially that recent series you did, Internet Insanity, on Kurt Eichenwald was really interesting in that way, because it was like, and that came out right at the perfect time, because I started following him during the tentacle porn, cartoon porn debacle, because I'm like, this guy's is gonna tweet out something else stupid, like this is too good not to follow. And then as you were releasing those, he had like a meltdown on Twitter and was tweeting all this other ridiculous shit. And just like you were talking about, that also eventually came back to like sex and pedophilia and shit for some story he was investigating.
Eichenwald was a really interesting case. This is a guy that had a very kind of big bang at the start of his career. I mean, he was respected by his peers. He's a best-selling author. He received accolades and awards for his writing. He covered Enron and did a whole bunch of stuff. People said he's very detail-oriented, very meticulous. And then this story comes along where he's investigating a child porn ring. And he cracks it, and the kid that was at the center of it, I think it's Justin Berry, ends up testifying before Congress. It becomes a really big thing. It gets him a lot of press. But then details start to emerge that he was making payments to Justin Berry before the story ever started, that he had potentially access, that was an allegation, to the back-end administration of the child porn site. So, a lot of really weird details. And, he's kind of become just weirder as time has gone on. I don't know somebody that would accidentally show a porn tab in a screenshot and then think the best way of reacting to that is telling everybody, no, you don't understand. I was just trying to show my wife and kids that tentacle porn exists. Eichenwald,
right after you finish eating dinner and you're like, hey, kids, come over to the computer. And then instead of Googling tentacle porn, you go, let me go to my favorites, click this tab, and then just see through the rest.
Hey, honey, you like calamari, right? Come here, let me show you. Let me show you what the other side does.
Oh, right. He's very litigious, too. That was one of the things I noticed. There's a YouTuber, I think it's Diversity in Comics, who covers comic book-related stuff, obviously. Eichenwald somehow got involved in a spat between him and somebody that worked in the industry who was an artist. Eichenwald took this guy's side, was praising him, saying, oh, this is crazy. Look at these, super PC people that are attacking you. Everything looked like it was great. And the guy does a video and says, maybe I don't want Kurt Eichenwald on my side. That's essentially what he said. Eichenwald goes apeshit, sends him about 13 emails. I'm going to sue you if you don't do what I tell you to do. You better tell people you screwed up and made a mistake. I'm sick of taking shit. I'm going to make you an example. Just going after him. One of the things I wanted to include in the video, I couldn't because people want to remain anonymous, and it kind of makes it useless, at least in this context. I had people that were reporters for different outlets talk to me and say, yes, he is litigious. Yes, he will threaten to sue you. Yes, he did this kind of stuff to me. So, I mean, I heard enough of those stories to see where this was going. So I made very sure when I made that video to be like, this is an allegation. This is being reported from this outlet. These are things that we can verify through archives, because I did not want to get Eichenwald emails from him saying, I'm going to sue you because you hurt my feelings on the internet, which he apparently is prone to try to do.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that. So, like, another aspect of what you do, until a few days ago, I didn't know this. I'd only watched your main Mr. Metokur channel and watched all that content. I just in the last couple of days discovered the blood sports thing, and it is, like, I was trying to, like, jump into a stream and figure out what it was about, but there are so many characters. There's so much backstory. There's so many people in the call. It's like, God, I need to like set aside a weekend to try and figure out what the fuck is going on.
Can you
and one of the big, and it is very entertaining. I like the like very combative shit. You're hilarious on it. But a guy I don't know. I still don't fully understand. I know he's a political figure, like alt-right kind. I think alt-right. Baked Alaska. He's the big thing as of late. Could you give me like a download on what is going on with him? Because it seems like the whole blood sport arena is just knee deep in him right now.
Lay this whole thing out for people that aren't familiar with Bloodsport.
Yes.
Sure. Bloodsports is just the dumb gay little nickname that it's been given, but it's a stream where people come on with a heated confrontation. That's really what it boils down to. You can think of something like almost like a Jerry Springer, a Maury Povich, a Richard Bay kind of type atmosphere. They've had some interesting matchups. Tariq Nasheed went up against Jared Taylor, so you've got somebody who's more kind of like a black supremacist than a white supremacist going at each other. And Tariq was funny. I mean, he actually said, and this is almost a verbatim quote, "My dick is a weapon of mass destruction, which I will use to destroy the white race." And so I got a great chuckle out of that. Tariq, he's a very funny guy when he gets going on his spiel. But it started off really political. A lot of political matchups. A lot of people on the alt-right or on the left, kind of going at it. And it spun off into multiple directions. But with Baked Alaska, who was this guy that used to work at BuzzFeed, got into the Trump presidential cycle, based magapede and all that. That's how he'll describe himself. He and I had a bit of an argument. One thing I don't like, and this is me personally, maybe this is just me, but I don't like somebody that builds up an audience, rapport with a group of people, right, who financially support you, and they're showing up to watch your content, they're showing up to support your streams. Maybe they're buying your merchandise. And then you turn around and tell them, you're not worth it anymore. I don't like you. You're toxic, or there's some aspect, I don't need you anymore. I'm better than you. And that's kind of essentially what he did. And I really didn't like that. And so I was like, you seem to me to be a sellout. You seem to be somebody who takes for granted people who supported you. You kind of turned your back on them. This sets into motion a sequence of events that just goes completely off kilter. I mean, at the very beginning, it's me calling him a sellout. Today, we're talking about people going to the Pentagon. So
the real Pentagon?
Yeah, the real Pentagon. Swear to God, I will try to lay out this sequence of events on how this happened. So I tell that to Baked Alaska. He gets very angry. He ends up going on to a stream, a Bloodsport stream called The Morning Kumite, which is hosted by a guy called Tonkasa. On there's a streamer, Andy Worski, has his own show. Turns out Andy Worski and Baked Alaska get into an argument. Baked Alaska had him out in California. They're all hanging out and doing stuff. In the middle of the argument, right, Baked Alaska looks at Worski, through the camera and everything, and says, "Well, you're a cokehead, Andy. When you came down to California, you wanted me to get you cocaine." And then Andy responds, "Do you want me to tell people where you got it? Do you want me to name the really big streamer who's supplying?" And Baked turns to him and says, "Hey, I have records on my phone of you wanting cocaine. I have records of all of this." So that starts a whole bigger shit show, because now you're talking about, Baked Alaska's in California right now, and I'm not making any allegations. I can only tell you the people he's hanging out with. But he's in California right now trying to do the in real life streaming stuff. And he's hanging out with people like Ice Poseidon. He's hanging out with people like Asian Andy, and doing all of this stuff. So I have no idea who Andy and Baked are referring to, but I have a feeling a lot of people down in California right now aren't too pleased with either of them, because they couldn't keep their business private. So Baked Alaska gets very angry. Andy gets very angry. Baked leaves the stream. Then things start to circulate about there's a secret Discord server being run right now. People are going to get doxxed. People are going to get flagged. And people are saying Baked Alaska's behind it. Well, one of the people presenting the evidence is a guy named Zoom. Zoom says, "I have the evidence. I have emails. I can prove it." He says Baked Alaska was trying to contact a hacker. He was trying to contact a hacker. He was looking for Weave. We intercepted him. I had it sent to me instead. All this funny stuff.
Intercepted him.
Intercepted him. What does that mean?
They hijack his SIM card?
It's all cloak and dagger. It's all cloak and dagger. Apparently, the word was out. He was looking for somebody, and somehow Zoom got in contact with him and said, "Hey, I can do this for you." I am skipping over one part. Let me back up just a tiny bit. After I called Baked to sell out, he had like a 12-hour stream where people were going insane at his house. There seemed to be some festivities going on that might have involved some recreational drugs, let's say.
What could cause someone to freak out and overreact in that kind of situation?
They don't like the
what kind of substance?
Were they throwing dollies and such?
I'll tell you. One of the guys on the stream, right, is mocking chat. "Oh, hey guys, it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you say. You can't do shit to us." He accidentally tells people what his name is, and it works. In that same stream, he said something to the effect of, "I think if teachers have sex with students, they should get a pay raise." Turns out this guy works for a very conservative individual in the political sphere and the kind of radio sphere. And he said this multiple times. Well, chat was like, "We love a challenge, and you just told us what your name is. We figured out who you work for." So they start just screwing with this guy relentlessly. So I want you to imagine this. I mean, you get called a sellout by somebody, right? And start talking about people doing drugs. And then some guy shows up on your stream and he's spazzing out and people find out who he is. He's making really weird statements about screwing teachers, screwing students. People find out who he is and they're contacting bosses and things are escalating as time is going on. Now we've got a hacker appears from out of nowhere. And he's going to turn over the evidence to Andy Worski. Andy Baked wants to come after you. I have all the evidence for it. Well, then, to follow this up, because this shitstorm, this rolling trash fire has to continue. People are like, well, this Zoom, the hacker, is making this all up. He's completely making it all up. And not just that, but he's a pedophile. So there was a stream just, I think it was last night or the night before, where they played like 20 minutes of audio with the Zoom guy and a girl that he knew on some site called Blab. Where they're talking about some really outrageous shit, talking about watching child porn together. She says something along the lines of, "You'll never make me come as hard as he did when I was 12." Just lots of really... Yeah.
Oh, that's some dirty shit.
That's some... that reminds me of that... What was that... Christ, was it Fight Club? Where he...
yes.
You know the line...
I haven't been fucked like that since grade school. Helena Bonham Carter said that in bed. She's British, though, so to her... She doesn't know what grade school is. She had no idea that meant elementary school.
But to sum it up, so people are like, "Oh, well, this guy's a pedophile." Well, his claim was, "No, I'm just trolling. This is how we used to screw with people. We'd go onto streaming sites, make outrageous claims like this, get a large audience watching, and then watch them get angry." So this starts like an inquisition on this stream. They have like 3 hours going. Finally, the girl comes on. Like they're like, "Oh, the girl's going to prove that this is true or not." And she comes on and she's like, "Yeah, we're just fucking around with people." So even I'm lost at this point. I mean, blood sports, I think it really is just Jerry Springer for the internet. I don't know how one event leads into sequence of events like this, but it just gets more absurd as time goes on. More people get drawn into it as time goes on. More outrageous allegations come out as time goes on because people get so heated and so personally involved in it. I mean, what started as me saying, "You are a sellout, Bake, because you're treating your fan base bad," has now ended at, super hackers. And the Zoom guy said on the stream, this is how the Pentagon is getting involved, apparently, that he had like, he was contracted through the government. He had GS13 pay ranking or something like that. And he was, top secret ranking or something like that. One of the guys watching, well, two of the guys, actually, one guy called in. He's from an Australian police department. It's like, I've heard some interesting things here. Maybe we're going to pursue this. I can't say that we have any jurisdiction over you, but I can contact people. And then another guy calls in and says, "I just want you to know this, but I'm in the Navy or whatever. This is my rank, and I'm what's called, I think it was a designated or mandated reporter. And you're claiming that you're contracted through the government. Well, I have a meeting at the Pentagon in a week that's been scheduled for a month. And as a mandated reporter, I have to bring this up because maybe you really are working for the government. And if you're involved in pedophilia, that needs to be dealt with because people are making claims that you're doing some really outrageous shit." Is that I'm going to talk to some general in particular, Mattis? Mad Dog, you know who I'm talking about?
Wait, Secretary of Defense?
Yes.
He might be
Mad
full
Dog,
of
we
shit.
got a pedophile on the Kumite show.
Oh God, no! They're there too. I love the Kumite show. Wait till I tell Donald about this.
Oh, I fucking love Kumite. I watch it every morning right after Fox and Friends.
But yeah, I mean, it could be completely blowing smoke out the ass. But
Fake Alaska is a cokehead pedophile.
But it's absurd. But yeah, it really is. It reminds me of that kind of generation of television where it was just a ridiculous story that's kind of ongoing. And I don't think it's people intentionally trying to do it. I just think it's once people get really invested in the argument, all the secret comes out. These people have had me on their streams before, and they say they give me a lot of crap because they say I don't have internet friends. Well, why don't you have internet friends? And I'm like, well, look around. I mean, Baked Alaska is talking about anti-coke use, and they're supposed to be internet friends. People are tearing themselves apart. Why would you open yourself up?
I did love that section of a stream. I watched. It must not have been the whole stream because it wasn't that long, but it was like your friends discussion with all those guys that I'm not familiar with all their names, but they were like, "Oh, we're all kind of friends here," and you're like, "No, none of you are my friends." And like one or two of them pipe up, "Yeah, but like me, Jim, like we've known each other." No, None of you are my friends. I don't want to be friends with them. And it was just the blatantness of it, and then the subsequent, like, almost passive, almost underhanded way to be like, but we're still cool, but we're all right, right? Like the need for validation. That was very funny to watch.
Well, and to give you a, to cap this off, and I want to make sure I'm saying the right person's name. So if you can give me one moment here, let me just pull up my Twitter account to give you an idea of how ridiculous this is getting at this point. As a follow-up to all these streams, during the stream with the alleged pedophile hacker, right? Mm-hmm. One of the hosts of the Blood Sports is like, I want to set up an in real life money match with you. I want to get into a fight with you. I want to kick your ass. So they agreed to set this up. Now, here's where it gets even more ridiculous. Apparently, I don't know. Do you know somebody? Maybe you're familiar if you watch MMA. Tara La Rosa.
Sure, I've rolled with her.
What do you would know?
Yeah, it wants to get in on this.
I used to.
So
train
Tara
with
La
her.
Rosa is like, if you're setting up, this is the tweet. Did someone say setting up fights? I like in real life, and I want to play. So I don't know if that means we've got a fucking female MMA fighters showing up for a YouTube fights now, if that's going to be a thing. But
That'd be great.
Woody, Tara La Rosa roughed you up a bit, right?
She won. Yeah, I was just starting. I was like a brand new white belt. I had like 70 pounds on her, and she was just so much better. In the transition, she'd always trick me. She's like, I don't know if she won Abu Dhabi, which is like the premier grappling competition on the planet, but she definitely medaled like several times, bronze, silvers, maybe gold.
Did you have any like impressive moves against her, or was it just she was doing whatever she wanted?
I was really new, and almost to say I was trying to be polite would exaggerate like what I could have done, but I didn't know how to roll with a girl, and nothing went my way. Like
you twist the nipples.
Yeah. What happens is, like, I don't know, I'd be in her guard, and I'd be so much stronger than her that she couldn't pull anything off. And then, whatever, like, we'd both fall to our side, and all of a sudden she had, like, an armbar in a way that I didn't see coming. And that's what it was like to roll with someone much better, but weaker.
Does not sound like fun. Well, maybe she'll show up to the Bloodsport thing.
To YouTube fights. I don't know. I mean, that's the third one now that's been set up. There was an event called Kilroy that fell apart because the person running it was basically a scam artist. I did a sequence of videos on that. And all the YouTube personalities that were going to show up ended up fighting with one another, and all these people were talking about setting up fights. So you had one guy called Coach Red Pill wanted to fight Jeff Holiday, and then another guy, Monday Matt, wanted to fight Johnny Fox. And so I think there, as Ross would put it, some bloodlust there. So maybe YouTube fights will become a thing, like a next generation bum fights, if anybody remembers that.
Yeah. Oh, we talk about bum fights every other week.
It's a 10-point
Big fans. Big fans.
Guy gets his face bit off.
So that's felony
for
fights.
Like a
Don't
fucking
mix it up.
30-pack. He gets it for a natty pack.
That's felony fights.
Yeah, that's felon fights. Yeah, that's
right.
a whole
That's
different
felon
thing. Much classier than bum fights. Don't get it twisted. Don't besmirch the
probably
name.
is.
It's the pinkies up.
We start with clubs.
Woody, you're no stranger to internet fights. Way before or not to being challenged to them. It was like 2011
Before
the first time you
cool.
got challenged.
Something like that, yeah, I guess. There was a guy, and people here know the story. I think he was on the spectrum. He claimed to be on the spectrum, actually. He said he had Asperger's, and he used to routinely talk about raping my wife, raping my daughter, anally raping my daughter, and then he would make fun of my son. I have a special needs son, and he would just like, I don't know, like take pictures of his poop in the toilet and say like, here, I got some snaps of Colin, and tweet that stuff out. And I mostly looked the other way. I was a much bigger YouTuber than he was, and didn't make sense to punch down constantly. But at one point, he said he was going to beat me up at this gaming convention. And I said, I accept. I'll set it up. And, I got it all arranged. I got my friend is a UFC fighter, so we got an octagon lined up, and we were going to go. And then he said he didn't want to fight anymore. So that's all there was.
Funny that, isn't it? How it reaches that point, and suddenly they don't want to do it anymore. Suddenly it's a little too real for them.
Oh, this got a little bit real. I might get punched.
He made a mistake. He said he wanted to kick my ass, and it was like, oh, invitation accepted. I'm totally down. That was the thing that got me to reply, and he looked kind of silly. He was smaller than me too.
Yeah, I've long suspected it's hard to get inside the head of one of these insane people from the internet that really doesn't make any sense, even when they're not like being silly. They're always kind of just on the edge, or they're not like the rest of us. I always had the suspicion that he was just sort of trolling because he wanted your attention. You know, he wanted, even if your fans were going to tell him, "Oh my God, you're terrible. How dare you say that about Colin? How dare you say that about Woody? Woody's a great guy." It's still views for him, right? Like any attention's good attention as far as someone like that is concerned, perhaps.
Yeah.
But in any case, I always, even at the time, I was like talking to Woody in private, and I was like, "What are you gonna do? You gonna hurt him?" And Woody's like, "I'm gonna break his fucking arm."
Yeah, that was the plan. At the time, I was in pretty good shape, and I had trained a lot, and I was pretty sure that this fight would go any way that I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
And
It would have.
yeah.
Absolutely. No doubt.
So I had decided that an appropriate level of violence would be to break his arm at the elbow.
Break his arm at the elbow so that it wouldn't heal right, I believe.
That's what would have happened.
So Jim, before the show, I know you've been speaking to Chiz a lot on and off throughout the week or so, and you've expressed some interest about our resident peculiar individual, Wings of Redemption. You're interested in perhaps doing some sort of series about him, or at least learning more about him. So if you have any questions.
This is a fantastic opportunity for me. I don't know what it is. I'd never heard of him before. But for some reason, it was in my recommended video feed, and so I was like, well, I wonder what this is. It was a compilation video. There are a lot of compilation videos I've come to find out. So I'm watching this video, and I was like, well, how bad could it be? Boy, was I in for a treat. I've never seen a man more miserable with his position in life than Wings of Redemption. It was every video I watched, and I watched maybe 50 of them. Just awestruck. Just awestruck by it. Who says repeatedly, the traits that I noticed, maybe it's a gimmick, I don't think it is I hate my life, I fucking hate video games, I hate Call of Duty, I hate Rainbow Six, I need my subs. If I don't get 2 subs this hour, there's going to be hell. You get 3 minutes of commercials. Just watching this go on and on and on. And the weird thing is I can draw 2 comparisons, right? The first is, I think most people would go to, would be DSP. I don't think DSP is this bad from what I've been seeing. The other comparison is somebody I knew. Was a really early on kind of big video game YouTuber, Armic21. Armic21 had a large audience, kind of started to fall on hard times, got really angry, did a lot of drunk streams and stuff like that, hated what he was doing. But there is, he's kind of the story of the light at the end of the tunnel. He took a step back. He said, you know what, this is ridiculous. Got a job, got a really nice job, met a girl, fell in love, got married to her. Bought a house, and now he's doing his own thing. He's got a very happy life.
Good for him.
And so I look at somebody like Wings, who's like, I hate my life. I hate what I do. I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm thinking, well, why are you doing it? Because I know that people can walk away. Oh, go ahead. I'd love to hear this.
Wings feels like, because of his weight, right? Wings is a guy who probably can't stand up for more than 60, 90 seconds in a row, that most doors are closed to him, that the only avenue available is streaming games and getting the surgery. So that is his window to normalcy.
Oh, the surgery. See, now that's a topic I wanted to touch on, because I get the feeling Wings is the sort of person that's never going to get the surgery.
Oh, you're on my side of this bet.
Never, ever going to get that surgery.
Kyle and I lost this bet. Or we're going to lose it.
So
yes.
Here's my take on it. Wings, he lives in Conway, South Carolina. That's something that he says loud and proud all the time, so it's not like I doxed him. And he rarely leaves his town, right? That's a very uncommon thing for him. He hardly leaves his house, right?
Can I interject? I would guess that he has left the town of that he lives in 6 times in his lifetime.
I wouldn't bet against that.
He's really that much of a recluse?
Yes. Not necessarily a recluse, because like I suppose he socializes with a very small group of individuals within his circle. And it's not that he doesn't want to go out to a restaurant with a girl or anything like that. He's a homebody who feels very uncomfortable out of his shell of protection. And his mother is very important to him as sort of a safety blanket figure. She needs to be close by. Yes.
Yeah, his family he's super, super tight with, and he's, like Kyle says, he has a little circle of real life friends. They come and go and leave the show, but he's just not an explorer. He's the opposite of an explorer. He very much leaves his comfort zone the minute he leaves practically his block.
Well,
So-
could you call it exploration though? Just going out to the local grocery store. I mean,
He
that's
would.
making it sound like some grandiose adventure he's going on. It's like an everyday thing. Every
You
human
should
being
have-
has to do.
So I just to give like the broad strokes of this gentleman, he was quite big in the days of Call of Duty commentary. I don't know. Are you familiar with Call of Duty commentaries and
Yeah.
what a big scene that was at one point? He was one of the first, and I mean like one of the first 25 people on the planet who did it. And at that time, it really didn't matter about the quality of your content as much as it did the quantity of your content, because it was a limited supply of it out there. Today, you can go on YouTube and find endless hours and hours of this stuff. But back then, especially if you wanted late-breaking, newest COD content, there were only a handful of guys who were doing it, and he was one of them. And so he became quite big in that sphere. He was making... At the time, he was making much more money than Woody or I. Woody and I we'd count up our money that we had earned at the end of the month and be like, maybe I'll earn this much by the end of the year. It's like, holy shit.
$5,000 a year.
Yeah, it was stuff like that. It's like, this is a fun hobby. I basically get my video games for free, sort of thing that we were doing. Wings was making $10,000 a month at this early juncture, and we were blown away by it. And to live in his income area, and to have his history of low income, it was like one of us making $100,000 a month out of nowhere. It was life-changing to him. And like many lottery winners, it really made him a completely different person in a lot of ways. He splurged that money around. He spent it on vehicles and on ladies. He's had several girlfriends that were part of his YouTube channel. And the money he invested into a restaurant with his mother, and there were many ventures like that. That he got into financing a Call of Duty team for a while, and things sort of petered out after a while when the Call of Duty thing took off, and now there's literally thousands of people doing exactly what he does, but better. Not only are they better at the game, but they're cutting edge with their audio, with their video, with the quality of their videos. There are guys who are spending 4 hours for every minute of content they're putting up. The guys who are like breaking down the weapons in Call of Duty and breaking down all sorts of tips and tricks.
Wings, on the other hand, on a busy day would make 11 videos in a day, right? So you can imagine that these are kind of just spit them out, not as great as the competition.
No, these were pulled from his streams, right? That was my understanding. He'd do a stream and then...
Yes, he has segued into a Twitch streamer because, as he says, the troll channels, which you watched about 50 of their videos.
I watched quite a bit of, yeah.
Yes, he believes that the troll channels have affected the YouTube algorithm in such a way that his YouTube channel is worthless. Now, that's just a bunch of silliness, because it's not as if anyone is out there searching Wings of Redemption looking for him for Call of Duty content. That's not how it works. You get discovered via those troll channels, if anything, at this point. If he were regularly uploading, then people would segue. Someone like you would have ended up on his channel watching some of his content, and if he was putting his best foot forward on his channel, you would say, oh, well, he's not all that bad. Look at him. Here he is with his grandmother sitting there having a nice conversation. Here he is cooking. Here he is going for a walk. He's trying to better himself. But there's none of that content because he's completely given up on YouTube. Only a Twitch streamer now. Now, he's been raising money for, let's call it 6 months now, for the surgery, as he calls it. And it was very vague at the beginning. It was just bariatric surgery. There's a couple of different kinds, but that's neither here nor there. In the United States, they cost about $20,000, roughly speaking. And in Mexico, they cost $6,000 or $7,000, roughly speaking. And he has had enough money to do it in both locations, back to back, for a long time now.
Back to back. He could have a pair. If he had another belly, he could go to the U.S., swing by Mexico, and come home.
Absolutely. He has reached his goal several times now. And people continue to donate and everything. If he had multiple stomachs like a farm animal. I'm ruminating a little bad today. But he keeps putting the surgery off. And his most recent, when we made the bet, Woody and I, about whether he would get the surgery this year or not, I said absolutely he will, because the last update I had gotten from the Wings of Redemption Twitch streams was, got my passport, I've got Dr. Martinez, I've got an appointment, I've got this, I've got that, I've got the money, we're set here. And then the next day he's like, but I went and saw a doctor here in the U.S. and she says, my heart might not be healthy. And it's like, of course your heart isn't healthy.
That's the excuse strain. He's going to pull out every. The interesting thing, he's like a weird amalgamation of different characters. In regards to the weight loss, I'd compare it to maybe like Boogie. Boogie talked for years about wanting to lose weight before he finally kind of went through with it, and he got the surgery and he started trying to do it. Mm-hmm. But there seemed to be at least some motivation there to do it. But with Wings, it seems like I saw some these compilation videos. They touched on it, and one of his excuses early on was, "I don't have a passport. I can't go get a passport because my mom needs to take me," or something like that. And then it was, "How angry would you guys be if I didn't do it because I'm worried about Mexican doctors?" Or how angry would you be if I delayed it because I need to do it here instead? It's like any way out that he can find. And with the algorithm thing too, and the troll channels, did something happen? I'd almost place it like 3 to 5 weeks back. Because that seems to be a lot of the compilations really started taking off then. Did he do something extra ridiculous 3 to 5 weeks back?
Was it you, Kyle?
Oh, come on. Why do I always get the finger pointed at me?
Kyle at one point asked for compilation videos on this show.
No, that's been months ago.
To be fair, we kind of backwards in a way ask for that every episode.
No, what happened was long ago, 4 months ago or something like that.
Long ago.
Yeah.
I don't know that this is going to be exactly accurate.
So the 100% truth of the matter is there have long been these compilation channels that put his stuff together for years and years now. And we've always watched them. And at some point I asked for sort of a music accompanied compilation of him raging set to Johnny Cash's Hurt. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. And it was made.
It turned out well. Yeah.
It turned out very well. Someone did an excellent job at it. And, music videos are the biggest thing on YouTube because they're so rewatchable. They're so catchy. They draw you in, and music speaks to the soul. And when the images accompanying that music match it so well, it just went off. And so from there, a lot of people kind of got into the idea of making these compilations, and that spurred on a couple more channels. But the thing is, he fuels the fire. Like if there's no coal to stoke that engine, then it just dies out, right? Like if he's just a normal human being, then there is no content to.
This is why I object to the troll channel thing, right? Like one thing Wings of Redemption did to me is he lied about some charity that I had done. I did this thing a long time ago called King of the Web. There was $7,000. I won, and I donated 100% of it to charity. And then, and by the way, like in real time, I put the check in an envelope, mailed it on camera. I did it. I got like shirts and thank you letters from them. It was real. Wings of Redemption told this guy Holiday Doc that it wasn't real, that it was all a scam to make money, that I was keeping it. I made a video saying, "Hey, vote for me on King of the Web. I'll put the money towards this charity to write love on our arms." And Wings said I made more money off of that video than the $7,000 I would have made from King of the Web. As if I make like $8,000 a video? That's outrageous.
Was that a 15 million view video?
No, it was just all untrue. It was a lie. That's a troll, right? When people talk shit about you and make things up and it gets believed and it tarnishes your name, like what Wings of Redemption does to me is troll video shit. What he's getting is truthful clips of who he is, right?
Yeah.
I think there's years of difference between like trolling and lying, and there used to be all kinds of videos about me saying I was a pedophile and this and that. None of like outrageously false, right? Not true. They're monetizing my children. I used to hear that all the time. What happens to Wings is they just literally show him live streaming. Angry at the people he plays with, yelling at other people for his deaths in video games.
Now, let me interject this. Now, in your research, if you decide to do something about this guy, you may find some people who call him out as a racist. That is 100% not true. And whenever that comes up, I defend him on that note. I'm all about giving him the fair shake as far as this stuff goes. Now he's terrible to people, and he makes up terrible things about people, and he does terrible things. But he is not racist. He grew up in a very mixed race environment, and he has no racism within him. So you'll see.
my primary focus was really, and what drew me into this, what made me watch 50 videos of this guy, aside from my general interest, which was really weird because when I'm watching this, and I was talking to a friend about, well, maybe I'll do a video on this guy. My girlfriend came in the room, and she's like, "Is that Wings of Redemption?" She used to be in a Gears of War clan, and they used to apparently fuck with him and laugh at his videos back in like 2013, 2014. So that was really weird to me. And she's like, "You have to do a video." So I started watching more compilation videos on it. But they really are just strung together video clips of him being him. And the thing that attracts me is it's that he hates that I think is the overall message is he hates his life so goddamn much, but he won't do anything to change it.
He's not brave. The core of Wings of Redemption is this is going to sound meaner than I'm targeting, but he's actually a coward, right? In his core of cores, it's why he doesn't leave his house. It's why he doesn't make any changes. It's why he doesn't have like the internal just bravery to get anything done with his life. That's who he is in the middle of him. And until that changes, he's just going to sit there getting bigger live streaming video games.
No, he has made some
Jim
moves,
has
though.
to hear about the opportunity that Kyle gave very benevolently for Wings to change his life. Go ahead and take it from here, Kyle. You know the tale.
So we're always throwing around fun ideas on this show about things we can do outside the show in real life and such. And people like sometimes will accuse us of like never doing them. And there has been some ideas that just didn't come to fruition.
They're not completely wrong.
Well, sometimes they're just not practical. Sometimes we're like, that's going to cause a legal issue. I can't fight insects in my house. That might be we can't do that. Plus, my roommate doesn't want there to be giant bugs in my house or something like that. But one episode, I threw this at Wings because he was bemoaning his
station in life.
Sure, and I said, look, man, come to my house. We'll do a fucking month-long boot camp. We'll get the fans behind it. We'll do a Kickstarter to get you like fitness gear, supplies. We'll film the entire thing. We'll make posters. We'll make coffee mugs. We'll get like a big viewership. Not only will this revive your body, it'll revive your YouTube channel. This will be amazing. Come to my house. I'll take a month out of my schedule. I will devote it to you. We'll do this thing together. It'll be fun. I sort of half-heartedly meant it. I didn't really expect him to ever say yes because of all the things that we told you so far. He doesn't get out of his bubble too much. And then the man said yes.
He took you up on it.
He took me up on it.
Took you up on the offer.
And so that night I was taking a shower in my shower after the show and I was washing my hair and I bumped my elbow on the shower wall and I was like, God, this shower is a little narrow. And then it occurred to me, Wings of Redemption could not fit into my shower. And if he was going to live with me, we would have to put in a new shower. So construction began the next day on a $5,000 shower. We tore out the old one.
Wait, are you joking with me or
Not
is
a bit.
this you being legit?
This is absolutely what happened.
You built the guy a new shower.
Called in the contractors, ripped the old shower out, ripped everything out, laid a tile floor, laid tile
More of
walls,
a car wash, really.
big double
That's a good one,
glass,
buddy.
big double glass doors, a power hose with the multicolored foam, just like wax, the whole thing. And getting ready for him to come over. I had a guest bedroom, but I don't think it was very well equipped. Bought him a new Roku, put a TV in there. This man is gonna lose weight. So he shows up to my house. He lived in Myrtle Beach. I was in Northeast Georgia. It's about a 5-6 hour drive, something like that. And he spent a month at my home. I filmed everything. I had a pretty nice digital camera, and I'm sort of doing voiceover live during the workouts. And I set up all of these sort of comedic type workouts where we used some of the money that was raised via Kickstarter to hire a friend of mine who assisted me in my videos, this guy named Jeremy, to be sort of like Wing's personal trainer while I was holding the camera and coming up with the workouts.
And make sure you say that Jeremy is not a personal trainer.
Jeremy's in good shape, though, right? Like Jeremy's strong. and Jeremy can follow direction, and that's what I needed from a personal trainer. So Jeremy would motivate Wings, like, come on, one more, or they would compete in some sort of physical activity to make it fun and as well as entertaining for the viewership. And sometimes when Wings was on the elliptical machine, his weight would cause it to come off the casters, and Jeremy was there to put it back
Starting
on.
fires, yeah.
Yeah, start smoking or whatever. Jeremy was literally there spraying lubricant on the casters of the elliptical to keep it working because it had a 350-pound limit on it, and the man weighed 425. He lost 40 pounds at my house in 30 days. He tried to quit multiple times.
Not 30 days. That's important to me, actually. So 2 weeks in, he wanted to leave. And we held like an intervention on the show where all of us were like, you can't leave, you can't leave, you can't leave. So he didn't leave, but he kind of half-heartedly quit. But he stayed there, and I want to say it was 24 days total that he stayed.
Wait, so are the videos of this up?
Oh,
watch this?
My friend, there is a whole fucking video series that I...
Oh, I have to go watch this now.
like, not to toot my own horn, but it's been called... the greatest Wings of Redemption content ever by me.
Right here on the show. Just now.
I really put some blood, sweat, and tears into this. I invented sort of competitions for him to do. There were costumes. There were gags. He
sat in a kiddie pool while being towed around by a truck, I think, as some sort of upper body exercise. Does that sound right?
That happened. I don't remember why I had him do it. There was a Wings of Redemption obstacle course. He was flipping tires, swinging hammers, swinging baseball bats, pushing trucks, doing wall sits, lifting weights. I got kind of a full gym.
And there was at no point was there a structure of like, all right, Monday, Wednesday, Sunday, we're going to do shoulders, arms, and chest, and then we're going to do legs here. It was just, hey,
see this guy dressed up as Gumby?
in a Gumby fucking mascot suit. He's going to sit down and try to resist as you pull him across the hardwood floor.
Yeah.
It's like, who knows what it's working out, but he's being active.
Something's got to work out.
Doing something.
And yeah, he dropped 40 pounds from this.
Yes, because I put him on a diet. We prepared all of his food. There was no going out for fast food. There was only what we brought into the home and prepared for him. I lost like 15 pounds during the ordeal because I didn't have any junk food in my house for his benefit, and I was going along with the workouts to some extent with him along the way. I'm jogging beside him, or if he's lifting weights, then to spell him, I would do some lifts or show him the technique. I'm certainly not an expert or anything, but I know how to do a proper bench press, or I know how to do proper squats or whatever. And I'm watching enough YouTube videos, and I took weightlifting in high school and stuff. I know what I'm doing, so I don't hurt myself, and so he wouldn't hurt himself. And so I would demonstrate along the way. Well, living with him outside of the workout was one of the most horrible ordeals of my life. That month was one of the worst months of my life because Wings lives within his own bubble. He doesn't socialize, and so he doesn't curtail himself to social norms. Right away, myself, my roommate Kitty, and my girlfriend were in my kitchen, and the bathroom is visible from the kitchen. And we hear this noise of water flowing into more water. And we all look up ponderously, and the bathroom door is agape, and Wings is pissing. And we can see most of him. I couldn't see the penis, nor could he. But he was pissing. And we were all just in shock. And finally my roommate Kitty yelled, "Close the goddamn door! You're pissing with the door open!" She's British, if you can't tell. And we all just bust out laughing. Like, can you believe that? He's like, what? What's the big deal? Just taking a piss. It's not like I was shitting.
Strong point.
Shitting. When I put him on the FPS Kyle diet, which is a lot of salads and grilled chicken, basically, he didn't shit for a week. He didn't shit for so long. I called the only person who I truly know is a bit of a fitness expert, Joe Lozon, who's a UFC fighter, a man who is literally a fitness expert. He's a professional fighter, professional athlete, big name in the UFC. I'm like, he hasn't shat in 4 days, dude. He's like, what? He hasn't shat in 4 days. What do we do? He's like, well, if 3 or 4 more days go by, it's gonna be a problem. It's already a problem, I think. I'm just picturing the meals that he's taken in. That's still inside him somewhere. He's
more
piling
stuffing
on
down
top.
the musket barrel.
Yeah.
Like he's overloaded.
Damn
I've
it.
seen what happens when you put the wrong ammunition into a gun. It explodes. What are we gonna blow this man's asshole out? And I kept thinking back to a story that Wings once told us about how he was very constipated for a while and he hadn't been able to poop. And then he finally sat on the table, and I'm gonna quote him instead of telling you what actually happened.
Wait, did you say sat on the table?
Toilet.
Oh, okay. It was going to be a more horrifying story.
Oh, it's much more horrifying than
Hang
sitting
in
on
there.
Oh, it's about to take a turn.
He sits on the toilet and he begins pooping. And to quote him, the turd came out sideways and log jammed in his asshole. And like if you can imagine like a long turd coming out an asshole and then somehow making a 90-degree turn and just wedging it open.
It was a breech birth.
In the movies when a big crocodile's about to bite the good guy and he sticks a stick in his mouth?
Yeah.
That happened to his asshole, according to him. And he screamed out in pain, ah! And fell into the floor with the turd still lodged. And he was in so much pain, to quote him, there was only one thing to do. And that was call for Grandma.
What any of us would do.
Grandma! There's a turd log jammed in my butthole. Help me. And she did. Quickly, she came to his aid. Rubber gloves were placed. A finger was inserted. And the turd, such that it was broken up and destroyed.
So
To be
wait,
fair, Kyle,
his grandmother fished shit out of his ass? Is that what you're telling me?
well, to be fair, it was more of like breaking it up for easy room, like an abortion.
To be fair.
Yeah, Mr. Metokur, we have our own scat man on the show. It's not exclusive to you and your universe.
Yeah.
Who would tell somebody that story? God, if that happened to me, I would never tell that fucking story to a soul.
You might kill your grandma so that she. You're just like smothering her that night with a pillow. I'm sorry, this can never get out. If Mr. Metokur finds out. So if you want that clip exists of him breaking that down. Just breaking down the shit in his asshole. And so that was occurring to me as I pondered over his constipation. And so we're getting him these chia seed drinks from the grocery store, which are supposed to aid in passing, making you regular, making you poop. We're filling his diet with fiber. I believe there was like shredded wheat and chia seed drinks and all of this stuff. And finally, like 7 or 8 days in, I had to replace the toilet. Not because anything was wrong with it, but just out of principle after he left.
You knew what happened in
I knew what had happened there. It was like if your girlfriend told you she'd been in a gangbang. You didn't see it, and there are no visible damages, but you just can't get past it.
Yeah.
I knew Wings of Redemption had taken a 7-day shit in my toilet, and I couldn't get past that ever again. I couldn't look at that toilet in the face square again and have any respect.
Can I ask you, what was his reaction after? So you host him on, this was on your channel, yeah? You host...
It was on this show.
That's what he thought.
Show.
That's to be fair, I felt like that was even more benevolent of me. I made all of this content for him, hosted him at my home, and he was like, so you're going to put this on your channel? I'm like, no. This is going on your channel. This is about reviving your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And these videos have hundreds of thousands of views. I'm looking at FPS.
Oh, so it's all the traffic's going to him then?
All the traffic.
Yeah, it was all for Wings. Kyle did this very benevolently. I wasn't.
So
being
he loses weight. He gets a show with you. He's got, hey, come check out my channel. You watch this stuff. It's a month long.
And
was he happy about it? Was he thankful?
And we set up an Indiegogo and raised him $10,000 cash.
So did he ever say thank you for that? Thank you for helping my channel. Thanks for the money. Thanks for losing the 40 pounds for all the work.
I don't want to say no because there's a chance I just don't remember it. And he did say it, but I will say I don't remember him ever thanking me now.
I remember him saying Kyle didn't do shit except for set up the workouts and make the videos and whatever the things you did.
Since then, he's kind of gone the opposite route and said that I didn't do anything really to help him, and then follow that by listing all the things that I did do.
You just said you put in a new shower for him.
Yeah,
for fuck's sake, right? You redid your damn house for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's remarkable.
And I don't know if I've ever said this, but the first night he broke the bed in the room. It wasn't a bed, to be fair. It was a futon because it was a guest bedroom, and I had never had a guest in there before. And so there was a futon, a couch that folds out into a bed.
Mhm.
And I had slept on it once before. Like I was like, let's break this in. And I fucked my girlfriend on it, and it wasn't bad. It was pretty comfy. He broke it immediately. It was a $400 futon, and so I also went out and bought him a bed and box springs to sleep on during the duration. That was probably another $500 or $600.
$5,000, a month of time, a bed.
Yeah.
Like, you definitely did a lot.
I'm not. This isn't about me, but we did a lot for him, and he was very ungrateful in the end, I suppose. Living with him was a nightmare, though. He played music all night. He brought his own speakers with him instead of headphones, and he played really high bass music, like thumping. Just doom, 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 doom.
Was he trying to get you to kick him out so he didn't have to lose the weight? Do you think that was like a plan?
This was night one.
Do you think it was a plan? Like, if I'm really obnoxious with the music, they'll be like, "You got to go, man. You got to."
He had no social awareness. He had no idea he was offending me, and I'm so the opposite direction where I'm really considerate of people's feelings. Mm-hmm. I was just like, I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna move to one of the other bedrooms in the house. Like it was a 2-floor house, and like my basement was finished and had 2 bedrooms in it. So I just moved downstairs to one of the other bedrooms, and I lived there for the duration of his stay.
That's crazy. Yeah, because the thing with him is there are a lot of rumors out there, and so maybe you guys can enlighten me on some of this stuff. One of the darker subjects that's come up, and I've seen this on a couple of websites, talked about on like a couple of subreddits, talked about in video comments. But again, I'm only watching the compilations. Is he a guy that's threatened suicide on multiple occasions? Like, that keeps coming up, and I don't know if that's legit or if that's just people exaggerating.
Many times.
He has gone so far as to show the bullets and the gun that he would use to commit suicide.
He's taken pictures of the 45 hollow point bullets and tweeted them out saying, "These are the bullets I will kill myself with when I run out of money."
Is that to try to guilt trip the audience into paying him, or is he trying to? Do you think he's reached that far down that he's at that point?
Can I take this one? I think it's really difficult to tell where his like 3D chess audience manipulation starts and where his just that's who he is ends. Like there's somewhere on that spectrum is a thing, and I can't tell if he's really sometimes harboring suicidal thoughts or if he's just playing everybody.
I don't think he's playing anyone. I think he's socially inept in a lot of ways, and he doesn't really understand the way he just when he feels something. And this is what makes him so fascinating. And this is why, to this day, I'll say I don't hate Wings of Redemption. I don't dislike Wings of Redemption for all of his flaws, all the things that all the insults he's hurled our way, both true and false, lies and the truth. I don't dislike him. I don't want bad things for him. Because he is real. He is raw. He will give you. He will like we've all had bad days, right? Where maybe we had some terrible thoughts, like, oh fuck this is bullshit. As soon as he has those thoughts, he'll share them with you. He'll cut himself bare to the bone and expose it to you and tens of thousands of more people on the internet, because that's just how he is. He's hit rock bottom 10 times. Okay, like he's at magma at this point.
He's under the crust. Yeah,
the bedrock.
He's found the iron core and he's drilled deep within, but he still finds a way to like perk back up, and then you watch him fall again. To speak to his sort of social ineptness or whatever you want to call it, some people call it social retardation. The first time you met my girlfriend at the time, she knew all about Wings of Redemption. She had gotten her friends watching him. It interested me when you said that your girlfriend was familiar with him, because my girlfriend's girlfriends were familiar with him. They were fascinated by watching the compilations, the music videos and stuff, which existed back then. This is 4 years ago. And my girlfriend comes over. We're in the basement working out, and we're very sweaty and smelly. And, we've been working out for a good 45 minutes or something like that. And you can't keep him going for 3 or 4 hours. He's not a pro athlete or anything. You warm him up, you cool him down. You warm him up, you cool him down. He collapsed a few times. Like I will say this, he gave his all when I was pushing him on the workouts. He collapsed a few times, and my girlfriend comes down there and she meets Wings of Redemption, and I sort of studied him to see like what does he do when he meets a strange female. He pulls his shirt up, exposes his enormous belly, and he says, "This is my MRSA scar. See here?" And he's got, because I believe MRSA, I think it's an acronym, right?
Isn't it like a staph infection?
It's a staph infection.
Oh yeah, you're talking about, that's a really nasty one from hospitals, isn't it?
So he got a MRSA infection in one of his folds, and and at first he thought it was a pimple, so I believe he was trying to pop it or something like that, which made it much worse. I think it sort of inflamed it, and so it got to the point where like he couldn't really move around very well because of the extreme pain that he was feeling in this fold over here on his belly, and this is also a YouTube video. If you're taking notes and you're looking for content.
Oh no, I am taking notes. Trust me, I'm taking very detailed notes.
He went. Chiz just linked it there for you. He went to the doctor, so if you can call it that, and they lanced his MRSA infection, drained it, and the smell. This is what the doctors and nurses were saying. The smell was so bad they had to open the door. They opened the door to the operating room to the outside. There's just a field back there to let the stink out. And this is all filmed, and it's draining this dark blood with like full of, red blood cells, I guess.
Congealed,
It's quite bad. So like the first thing he did when he met my girlfriend was show her that scar, because I don't know why. It was bizarre.
Because the women love it. I mean, who doesn't want to look at a MRSA scar?
Chick scars, man. I feel like he had heard that at some point. Like,
you're lucky she stayed with you after that.
Yeah, I know.
He can survive.
I'd have upgraded right on the spot if Wing showed me his scar.
She's like, Kyle, I got to say, I think I'm going back to Myrtle Beach with Big Boy over there. I'm leaving you in the dust.
Can I ask you about the ham thing?
The ham thing?
When I watch maybe you've noticed this, maybe you haven't. When I watch the compilation, right? A lot of comments and focusing on a clip saying, "Why does he keep smelling his hand?"
So you know how?
Oh, you have a story for this.
You know how like frat boys will like finger a chick and then be like, "Bro, smell my finger," and they sort of like relive the thrill of fingering a chick by smelling their own finger. He does that with food.
No,
I'm making that up. That's just something mean I made up once. See, now that's just a joke. What's actually happening is he has a tick where he like does something weird with his nose and like does this or something. He's not really smelling his fingers. That's them trolling him because they know he'll respond to it over and over. Just like
I think the tick's getting worse because the funny thing is I watch these compilations and I thought to myself, well, maybe he's not really this bad. I'll go watch him on Twitch. And I swear to God, the 5 minutes of him that I watched is every compilation video. First, it was him saying, "I hate this game. This game is stupid." And then he smelled his fingers, and the chat was like, "Oh, he's doing it again." And then he's like, and then he starts talking about his sub loss. And it was ticking every box that every compilation video had done, and it was a random stream. I just picked it out of the blue to watch.
That's why I prefer the term compilation video to troll video, right? A troll video would be making up lies about him, like he did for me. A compilation video just accurately represents what Wings has been doing lately.
Well, that's why they're able to pump that content, those compilation channels can pump it out so quick. It's because they're not curating a huge amount of content. They're going, oh, look, a stream from today. Boom, 4 more videos. Because they're really just kind of accurately representing it. I'm sure.
There is
Save That Money? Is this the one from today?
Yeah, this is Take That Money. And it's to that Little Dicky song, Save That Money. Save that money. Gonna save that money. Except this is Take That Money. Okay? Like there are there's different grades to this stuff. There's our favorite one is
I know it.
It's Mr. Big Guy.
Okay,
and it's to the beat of
It's
Mr.
a Beatles song, Mr. Blue Sky, I think, or something like that.
I don't think it's the Beatles. But it's Mr. Blue Sky. And it's to that, and it is high quality.
Is this one we want to watch with Jim?
Oh, we can't
because of the music.
Oh, it's got music in it.
Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll be checking out. You want to name these videos? I will be checking out each and every one of them. You tell me the name. Yeah, I'll be looking at every single one.
Like these are the cornerstones of the Wings of Redemption quadrilogy or whatever. It's must see TV. Like, I'm fascinated by the guy. I have long said that his career shouldn't be piddling around with gaming videos or Twitch content or anything like that. it should be a reality show. We've probably all seen Honey Boo Boo, or at least know of it. You know, it's garbage TV. He's so much better. He's so much better. If you think he's interesting, or at least bizarre enough to be fascinating, you should meet his extended family.
He kind of reminds me of Bam Margera's uncle. You remember Bam Margera on his MTV? The uncle I'm talking about?
Vito?
Yeah, Vito, the big guy.
Yeah, with the lazy eye, and then he died a few years ago from being so fat.
Yeah, Don Vito was a pedophile. Yeah.
Was he really?
It all comes back. Mr. Metokur. You
should
know.
No, I remember him. There was one really nasty episode where he had a infected toenail or something, and he's showing it off, and I was like, this guy is just... Why would you do that? And
and they were he was dipping it in their shots at a bar or shit like that.
Stuff. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of more classic Wing stuff.
Sex assault on children. Margera, 51, was accused of fondling 3 girls during a public appearance at Colorado Mills. They were 13 to 14. He grabbed their breasts and buttocks. And pedophile.
God, it keeps coming up.
So Wings is obviously much closer to Woody and Kyle because the 3 of them started PKA together. I think if you asked Wings, he would say he started it. I don't have nearly as much exposure to Wings, but I am in the spot that he used to be on this show, and so he does not care for me. And
that's one thing I wanted to ask, I guess, to get your perspective on this, because I do find this interesting. I know he's got a decent sized YouTube channel. He had a following for a while. He had a lot of people watching him because the content was kind of fresh and new, and he was one of the first people there. But it seems like there's an inverse thing going. He was big and now he's dropped, and you guys were kind of smaller and now you've just skyrocketed into doing stuff. Is that, am I you getting that right, or am I getting this wrong? Because it seems like he had 200 people watching his stream when I went on there on Twitch. In the middle
he would have definitely had more back in the day. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he drives people away, right? Like he's continuously banning people. That's the thing with him, is he's banned so many people. And he doesn't sort of embrace the people who come there for the show, as it were. If he just embraced the character of Wings, then he could be very big. He could have 1,000 people a stream, because he routinely gets 600 people in there, and about half of those are there for the rage.
He should be Wings the angry gamer, right? He should have a bunch of stunt controllers that he tosses at the wall again and again. And
yeah, he does that a lot. I in the compilations, it must have been 10 controllers in total.
He maintains that is one stunt controller, and that he doesn't actually break them. He's saying
that's a lie. No. That's a lie. His Twitter banner is a broken control. No, he does say it. I'm not saying that you're lying. I'm saying that he is. He broke a controller in the freaking Syndicate 1v1. We've done shows before where he's like, I'm up to 11
Syndicate
controllers.
1v1.
That's a good
Syndicate 1v1. So I don't know.
Is that when I think I vaguely know this. Like I said, I'm still kind of I've made my way through the compilations. I've had my girlfriend tell me her stories of them laughing at him from back in the day, and I've heard some of the rumors and stuff. Was this the one where he challenged somebody to a 1v1 and then he threw a shit fit because he lost?
Let me lay this one out.
It's exactly that.
So
hit me with the story on this one.
We have a guy on our podcast. Wings is one of our hosts at the time. This is maybe 4 years ago. And the guy is known for being the best Call of Duty Zombies player on the planet. And his YouTube channel is kind of skyrocketing, largely because he's so good at Call of Duty Zombies.
6 years ago, Woody.
6 years ago, thank you.
Yeah.
What Wings doesn't realize is that he's actually good at the multiplayer version of Call of Duty as well. That's what he did before he got famous. Anyway, during the show, for hours and hours, Wings is wildly disrespectful to this guy. Just shutting him down, acting like he's not a gamer. He says that he'd be much better at zombies on his first game. He doesn't even play zombies, but if he were to, he'd be much better than the best player on the planet. He's telling him...
And this was not banter back and forth. It was Tom or Syndicate being very courteous back to Wings being pretty aggressive and rude.
Perfect.
So he's goading the guy nonstop, basically shitting all over him.
Goading implies shitting all over him is better. Goading implies a level of social sophistication that isn't there.
That he doesn't have.
Right. So he's just shitting on this guy all show long, and then at one point he challenges him to a 1v1 on Bog. Now, a thing you need to know about Wings is his style of gameplay. He's actually very, very good at these across the map sort of accuracy based thing, where we're both behind cover, we both have 2 or 3 pixels to aim at. That is Wings' cup of tea. That's what he's strong at. So he sets the rules up. and he says, we have to use M16. It has to be on Bog. It has to be, he lays it all out there so it's to his advantage. I'm host, which is another big thing, because I'm in North Carolina, Wings of Redemption's in South Carolina, and Syndicate is in the UK, right? So Syndicate has all this lag and trouble to deal with, whereas Wings is next to host practically, right? He's a couple hundred miles from me. Mm-hmm. It goes on, Wings loses. And to get into the details of it, he gets behind, which means that he has to start taking some risks, to catch up. And that just leads to being further behind. And eventually, he throws the controller, rages, and blames me for streaming it. As if it were a surprise. I mean, we all agreed they were going to stream 1v1. It was like there's thousands of people watching. Well, he goes ballistic. And he asks if we can turn off the... In the aftermath of it, we're all like, it's okay, Wings. Like, I understand this sucks. I've been there. And he's like, what? I don't fucking suck. You shut up, you fucking faggot. To me, right? That's what he's saying. I'm being nice to him. He's cursing me out, calling me a faggot, stuff like that. I try to, change the topic and play 1v1 against a different guy. Let's just put that in the past and move on. He doesn't want that. He wants to end the stream, so we do. After the stream ends, he's continually threatening this guy. He says he's going to break his teeth out with a mag light, that if he was there, he would kill him. And he goes nuts on it. And Tom, on the other hand, is also known as Syndicate, is just being cool about the whole thing. Look, man, you win some, you lose some. Don't make too big a deal out of it.
Why is he getting so... I guess this would be my mindset. You said this guy is really good, top of the rank, right?
At zombies.
Zombies, yeah.
But I mean, so he just the game in general, then he would be proficient at, I would imagine. So
sure,
yeah.
If you're going against somebody like that and you lose, you'd be like, okay, well, I lost. Maybe you talk a little bit of shit, but you'd be like, well, the guy's good, right? I got a loss. I got a loss.
Wings thinks he's
you would
great.
Think so.
Wings is self-appreciation is out of this world. He legit thought for a while that he was better than all the pro gamers, that he was better at quick scoping than the quick scopers, better at zombies than the zombies guy, better anyone at everything. He plays all his games on hard mode, right? As if that was some sort of qualification to be an outstanding gamer. So he was surprised that the number one zombie player on the planet was better than him. He didn't see that coming. And you say, why is he making such a big deal out of a loss? You also have to recognize, and maybe you do, that it's not just a game to him. This is his living. This is his sense of self-worth. This is being good at games is not just his finances, but who he is. That's as a man, he is a dominant gamer. That's one of
Did you mention the part where he tried to bribe Syndicate to lose the rematch?
We didn't get there.
Wait,
yet.
he tried. Oh, yeah. See, now we got to get to that part.
So, yeah. So to pick up where I was, as soon as the call ends, he starts threatening Tom. He's going nuts about it. He's lots of violence. I'm going to bash your teeth out. I'm going to do this. I think he said he was going to have teeth soup. I think that was one of the things where he busts his teeth out with a mag light, and then he's just there with a bloody mouthful of teeth. And this is what Wing, he said he would kill him. He said if he was near, if he was closer, he would literally kill this man for beating him in a 1v1. And a little time passes, and Keemstar gets involved in this. Keemstar was always opportunistic about when he found drama. And he's like, we'll set up a 1v1 with you guys. We'll put, I forget what it was, $5,000 on the line. And then winner take all. And Wings came to him and said, look, we'll do this. We'll do a 1v1. You throw it. Look, I'm going to win anyway because I'm Wings of Redemption. But you throw it just to lock that in. And then I'll keep, I think, what did he want the split to be? It was to his...
See, that's the best part. Wings would keep the lion's share and get the victory.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not how a bribe works.
That's not how bribes work.
Yeah. So I think it might have been 3-2. It might have been 4-1. But Wings was keeping the bulk of the money. And then Tom, who just beat him, was supposed to lose on purpose. And Wings felt like, but you will get that 1,000 in public humiliation. You should take what you can get.
Right? He jumped right on that and said, that sounds great to me.
He took an alternative route where he took a screenshot of the Skype conversation and tweeted it out to the world.
That's amazing. See, I would have done that. I would have absolutely done that and laughed about it for weeks.
And if Wings to this day thinks that the Syndicate 1v1 loss was a big part of his loss of popularity. It really wasn't. He could have just laughed that off and it would have been nothing. But his reaction to it was a part of his loss of popularity. The bribing was a part of his loss of popularity. And it really wasn't about his gameplay at all.
Well, yeah, that's what kind of fascinates me about him. Because kind of going back to the DSP thing, Wings on his YouTube channel, I think he's like at 500,000, isn't he? Somewhere around that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Around there.
DSP has 180,000. DSP can do a stream, and he'll have, he can get like between 600 and 1,000 people watching on the regular. So you'd think that Wings would be able to pull in at least a comparable number to that from somebody who's got a smaller base. But I think DSP, he has things that go way beyond what Wings deals with. I mean, he has actual A-logs, people that want to see his life ruined. So, it's more than compilations than just trolling. But I think DSP rolls with it better, and Wings seems to have a worse reaction to it. Like, watching the compilation videos, if you look at his sub count, because he has that, I believe, in his video that shows his sub number, and you go back 4 months and you look at the newest one, you can see it ticking down as he's losing subs every week because he keeps freaking out on people that come into his streams.
It goes up and down. It goes up and down. I went and streamed with him maybe 2.5, 3 months ago. Like I played some PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds with him, and it was a very popular stream. And then the next day, he made it so that you had to be subscribed to him in order to watch it. I don't know. There were 1,000, 1,200 people in there watching it live, and then which was like quadruple what he normally gets. And then to watch the 4-hour long video, you had to subscribe. Which is he made it that way, and so he got like 100 extra subscribers, and so he's been losing those 100 steadily as like when the next month came around, they all left, and so that's why you get a big disparity and like up and down kind of thing. But he hovers around 600 to 700 subscribers somewhere.
Yeah,
in there,
why does he do that, by the way? Because when I went to his Twitch channel, I was like, well, maybe I'll watch some past streams. Nope, can't watch it. Have to be.
He does that in an attempt to combat the compilation channels, which I suppose we'll refer to them as.
Did it really hit that level? He's trying to counter-op them, is he?
So at least like 10 of his subs are the compilation channels.
Absolutely, and of course he acts as if many of these people who make those compilations simply watch the whole stream. They don't have to. I say that they tune into his stream on their computer and click record, grab screen, record, and then they come back in a few hours when it's all over and they look for the juicy parts and they chop up their video, right? They don't need his permission. They just record it. They just screen grab it. Or they clip it as they watch. That's a thing that people do frequently. So it's kind of silly to do that.
We should go through the more downfall aspect regarding him and PKA, where the survival trip was coming about.
I've heard a little bit about this, so I'm kind of curious about the details on this, because from what I understand, didn't he initially agree to something and then at the last minute cancel out on you guys? So he led you along to believe something was going to happen and then didn't give you the courtesy of just saying outright no, or even a heads up, can we try again for another time kind of thing?
Yeah, this is another example of This is another example of us as a show trying to do things outside the show, outside of just what we're doing here tonight. I guess we'd been watching a lot of Bear Grylls and Survivor Man and that sort of thing. And it was very popular at the time, and we were into it. We all liked watching them survive in the wilderness with minimal tools and such. And somehow it came up, hey, let's do a survival trip. Let's go out into the wilderness, the three of us, and let's see how we fare. And everybody was on board, except for one. I was going to mention the Lefty thing. There were 4 of us on the show at that point. Taylor was not on the show. It was myself, Woody, Wings, and a 4th gentleman named Lefty. And Lefty, when this came up, he was like, that's not for me, boys. That's not my game. I don't think I'd fare very well. I wouldn't enjoy it. I'm sorry. I'm out. We were very respectful of that, Woody and I. We were like, well, all right, man. Cool beans. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. Nobody here's going to give you. And then Wings interjects, pussy. A real man goes into the wilderness and survives. A real man does this and that. A real man does blah, blah, blah. Lefty's from Chicago. So he's like, Chicago. Yeah. If I had my passport, I'd come up there to Chicago and whoop your lily-livered ass. This is the sort of like mindset that he has.
That was a side joke Kyle just mentioned because Wings thought that you needed a passport to go state to state.
Oh, wait, no, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, he really is a fucking introvert.
And so, you know, we were like, he threw Lefty really under the bus there because Lefty didn't want to do this thing. Like, and you know, privately, I would have liked Lefty to come on the show, of course. You know, four people on a trip is better than 3. 5 is even better, but 3 is acceptable, I suppose. So planning begins. Lots of planning. We're looking at satellite images of potential locations. We settle on this place called the Uwharrie National Wilderness Forest in North Carolina. It's a true wilderness. It's I think it's a federal park or a state park, something like that. But you can go out there, you can camp, and we settle on a date. We all figure up, you know, when we're going to arrive. We
started
find like
divvying up skill sets, right? Like Kyle was the hunter. I'm particularly good at starting fires. I don't recall what Wings' was, but he was working on fires too. And we were just like all thinking about how we were going to succeed at this.
Yeah, and leading up to it, we're making videos, talking about it. Like one of the things was that we kind of got fixated on was starting fires with flint and steel. And so I made a quick video on one of my YouTube channels of me in my backyard making a fire with flint and steel. You know, it's a little annoying at first, but once you get the knack of it, you can do it. Wings made 4 videos of him making fire with flint and steel and never accomplished it. He uploaded all 4 failures. They failed in various ways. They would be a cut between him going ch, and the camera would cut and it would come back on, and then there was a big pile of leaves on fire, and you were like
18 inches tall, like the fire.
What the fuck? What happened? Like he just got out a big lighter and lit some leaves on fire in his backyard. And again, they're like leaves you'd rake up in your backyard. I'm going literally into the woods and like scratching trees with a knife.
You found a bird's nest and lit it on fire.
Yeah.
I got really upset about that. I don't know why.
You lit a bird's nest on fire?
Yeah.
Well, they weren't in it. So
Like
the day comes. It's time to do this thing. And so I set out on this quite long drive. I'm going to say it's 5.5 hours from where I lived at the time to where we're doing this thing. So if I leave the night before, I'm going to get a motel room in the area 30 minutes from the meetup location. And that way I don't have to drive, you know, early in the morning. I don't want to leave my house at 5 a.m., get there at 10 a.m. and be already just kind of out of it before we begin hiking and surviving and such. So I'm driving in the night before, and I think to myself, hey, let me give old Wings a call, make sure we're all good to go here, you know, because it's Wings. Call him up, say, hey, man, and get ready to do this thing. I'm driving in now, about 3 hours from the place. What are you up to? You know, you could leave, if you left right now, you'd be here around 11, and you know, you could share this motel room with me. I could get a room with 2 beds or something. He's like, I'm not going. I'm like, what? What do you mean? I'm not coming. When were you going to tell me? I'm telling you right now. What the? So I call. I text Woody. I'm like, he's not fucking going. He's not fucking going. And so Woody gets on the phone with him. Woody tries to talk, and I'm thinking like Woody's going to talk him into this. I'm still driving with this idea. Woody will talk him into this. Woody's a great motivational speaker when he needs to be, and I'm sure Woody was filling him with
compilations of me telling Wings, like, you know, if you want to be an extraordinary person, you have to do extraordinary things.
Be a winner, not a loser. Be a doer, not a don'ter. You know,
Very Henry Rollins-esque. Yeah.
Yeah, this sort of talk. You know, and he just doesn't fucking come. He just doesn't fucking come. And it's now it's just me and Woody in the woods. Now it's just kind of weird.
It got gay.
It got a little gay. It's like I hope nobody sees me and this 40-year-old man just driving off
practically
into the dark.
a pedophile with Kyle.
Yeah. So it really took the wind out of our sails, and you know, I ended up getting violently ill, like on the first night of the survival trip. I think from some tainted tap water. But in any case, like
no, it's because you weren't very good at swimming through that stream and you swallowed stream water.
That's exactly what I did. Yeah, I drank some river water, and I think that's what I was vomiting like for hours.
Swimming all over that river like it was nothing. Like, I see a frog out there yonder. I'll go get it. You know, I think I shot a turtle.
So he left you guys high and dry then. You had this all set up, all ready to go. It was going to be this big thing, and then at the last minute, you talking to him, and he says, No, I don't think so.
What's it going to notify us? I think that the next morning at 9 a.m., we were just going to, Woody and I would have pulled up to that bait and tackle shop / restaurant and just been sitting there at the table and be like, no, we don't want to order yet. Our friend's coming. And like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour would have gone by. I'm like, no, we're hungry, but it's lunch now. Well, we'll wait for our friend. And he just never would have fucking shown. I don't think he was ever going to notify us that he wasn't fucking coming if I hadn't called him and asked. It was absurd. And it made me so goddamn mad.
Yeah, I'd have been pissed.
It made me really so goddamn mad that I went on our subreddit and I was like, I've been pushed to the edge. I'm typing this message. I've been pushed to the edge.
No excuses.
I can't take it anymore.
Play like a
champion.
champion.
No excuses. Play like a champion. Like rule number 34. No excuses. Play like a champion. Which is from that movie Wedding Crashers. They got rules for wedding crashing. Mm-hmm. And I can't believe this. He's not coming. He has no excuse. He has no reasoning. He's just literally afraid of the woods and doesn't want to come. And
Exhibit A in the at his core, bravery is just not an attribute that he has.
And so that was the downfall of Wings on the show. That was the straw that broke the camel's back, I believe. He was also showing up late for shows, right? We scheduled
different ones. I think for Kyle, bailing on the survival trip was a really big offense.
It was.
For me, I didn't like it, but I could almost take it or leave it. It was like, all right, Wings isn't here. The survival trip, I felt like just got a little easier. I didn't expect him to pull his weight.
Funny.
I expected, well, true, for sure. Yeah. No, I wish he was there, but there was at least a little part of me that was like, well, now I don't have to find 1.5 persons worth of food, like me and a half. And you would have, I sort of thought we were going to, he was going to do less than his share. So it wasn't like a big criminal offense to me. I had harbored other things. Like remember the guy we talked about who said he was going to anally rape my wife and daughter and compared my son to shit? Wings gave him money.
Is this the okay, let me read this out before you go into the story. Maybe you can tell me if this is accurate or not. Because like I said, there's information posted everywhere and I don't know what's real or not. And this was, I believe, from 2014 or 2015. Earlier this year, it was revealed that he worked as a double agent helping a YouTube troll attack a 10-year-old autistic son of one of his friends. Is that talking about you?
That sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So this guy, the one that, challenged me to fight him and we organized it, he also would he'd be like, give me money. I want to go to Europe or I want to do this or I want a car. I don't know what he wanted money for. And Wings donated to him. And I felt like that, for me, that was a real betrayal, right? This is a guy who doesn't just attack me, he attacks my wife and my children.
Wait, no, I'm sorry, say that again. So the guy that's screwing with you and your family, he gave him money?
Yes. Yeah, via PayPal.
Why?
Because this dude that was attacking Woody's family, obviously Jesus, his channel was named. He also, as a different thing not related to Woody, was like, oh, I really, I'm feeling depressed and I'm all, in a bad headspace. I would feel really way better if I could go on a 3-week, no thinking about anything European vacation. So donate to my European vacation. Oh, also, I need a new gaming PC. That would really pull me out of this funk. And so that's basically what he was doing, e-begging for vacations.
that makes no fucking sense. You guys were doing a show together at the time, yeah?
We were friends. Yep.
Mm-hmm. You're friends with him and you're doing a show together and the guy that's fucking with you, he gives him money.
Yeah, that's not the only one. Yeah, there was another guy. His name was Thunder Toro. And Thunder's channel is doing well at this point, but he hates me. He hates me, I think, because he was a better gamer than me, but I was more successful on YouTube. And I think that's the core of it. I never talked to him or anything. And he uploaded a video where his friend said that my son was a fucking faggot that jerked off dogs. And I didn't like it, so I uploaded a response.
Oh, yeah, it's understandable.
And I gave that comment 2 thumbs down.
Yeah. Wings, on the other hand, was giving him search engine optimization advice and how to grow his channel, and he was doing really well. And Wings took some credit.
Oh, well, you know what? Fuck this guy then. How is he gonna cry about compilation videos and be like, the trolls are coming to get me when he's funding people that are fucking with you?
That's that. Exactly. You know what? We're of the same mind on this one.
No fucking pity. Fuck him.
Yeah. And Wings was like, Woody, I feel like you're making me choose between you and him. And I was like, I am. That was the day I decided not to fix his desk. Right? That was it. That was the.
You're way too nice, man. I'm surprised you didn't just kick his ass to the curb.
People.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Wings had this guy who was totally underqualified, and he gave him like thousands of dollars to make a desk. And the core of it is the guy messed up the epoxy job. So I was like, stick the thing on a trailer, bring it to my house. I will fix it for you. I will sand it down. I'll finish it properly. I'll get it all done. Woodworking is something that I'm good at. And we were all, it fell through, I guess, or got delayed because Wings insisted on bringing these felons over to my house. Like, I guess he has these friends with felony convictions. But
what the fuck is with this guy?
But, right? And I've got like kids and like a girl and a boy in grade school at this point, and he just wants to bring the felons over. And I'm like, no. Let's, how about it's just you? But like I said, Wings doesn't really leave town, so he didn't want to drive a few hours without, I don't know, some muscle. I'm not sure why he was so insistent.
I don't think the felons should be leaving town.
Yeah. So he just
like, but we got to keep this on the down low. They're not technically allowed to leave South Carolina.
So and yeah, the night that like it all went down, and he's like, I feel like I have to choose between you and Thunder. I want to give him help growing his channel while he attacks your family. And I was like, fuck it. Fuck you. You can let Thunder fix your desk. And that's how the desk thing fell through.
Can I ask you a question? Just it sounds really cold-hearted on his part, right? It doesn't even make sense rationally, really, when you think about it. So he's doing these kind of shows with you guys. You've got a big sub base. You've got a lot of viewers. This Thunder guy, did he ever do anything for Wings? Like, Wings is sitting at 200 people watching his fucking streams right now. So where is the people he funded that fucked with you? Are they helping him right now?
No.
So Wings is a giant retard then, right? I mean, that's kind of the consensus.
Yeah. Like
socially.
Yeah. I haven't seen his test scores.
Yeah, I felt like Wings wronged me for a long time, and we got here from the survival trip, right? So I think that for Kyle, the biggest offense Wings committed was bailing on the survival trip, especially the way he did it, attacking Lefty for a month on being such a pussy, and then turning out to be an equivalent pussy. For me, that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. It was 1% of why I was fed up with Wings.
Yeah, so you had a deeper history running with the guy, with the stuff that he'd been doing.
Yeah.
You don't even need a history for him to get upset with you. The first time I ever played a game with Wings of actually, Kyle and Woody, you were both there. This was like, what, 8 years ago now? Where we were playing Modern Warfare 2. Yeah. And we were playing Domination, and our team was thrashing them. We were up, like, the games were played to 200. I'm not sure if you played that game, but it was like 180 to like 40 or something ridiculous. We were thrashing them. And I was really close to my kill streak, and we had them pinned in the spawn. And I'm like, I'm just going to run in there and shoot a few people, get my score streak, and then get a few kills with it before the end of the game. I get up, run into their spawn, kill a couple people. Someone spawns behind Wings, who's in his general tactic, camping behind something, like head glitching out and getting pop, 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 and he gets shot from behind, and he starts screaming like, "Who the fuck ruined the spawn trap? Who the fuck is Mercadurka? Who the fuck is Mercadurka?" Just screaming. And at this point, like, I'm like, I don't know these guys well enough. Like, I know Kyle and Woody. Like, I feel like they'll back me up. And then, of course, at the time, Wings was the biggest channel of all of us. And so everybody was kind of giving their respects of like, yeah, that was Taylor. You shouldn't have done that. And I was like, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean anything by it. He's like, well, you fucked it up. I almost had a nuke. I was 22 kill or whatever the fuck he was
Taylor's
saying. It was
like 15 at this point.
This is like 8 years ago, so I'm like 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like it was the most angry I've ever heard anyone in any game for any reason, and we won handily by a lot. And so I don't know. It was just like an eye-opening thing of like, wow, this guy really gives a fuck.
I had a
this.
group
and then
of people...
he as soon as that happened, removed me from his friends list and wanted me kicked from the group.
Oh, that was it, huh? You were thrown out to the wolves for that offense, yeah?
Yeah, that was it. I think I was on his friends list for what? How long was that game? 20 minutes?
You're the original Gustavo.
He gets really angry. Like, I've noticed in a lot of the compilations too, when he starts streaming, people to mess with him and make him angry will go stream snipe him. So they'll watch his gameplay, find out where he's spawning, and then just constantly screw with him, and it drives him up a wall. Maybe I'm not familiar enough with Twitch, but couldn't he delay his stream a little bit so that's not like an issue? It seems like
we'll see. That would work if he were the type of player who like moved around the map and like moved from position to position.
Very static.
but he finds one location that's ideal for sitting right here hiding so only his eyes can be seen, and there's a good flow of enemies running past that he can pick off one by one. And so people are just like, oh, well, I'll chunk a grenade over there, and he's dead. And he's like, fuck, and he goes right back to those barrels, and 30 seconds later another grenade comes out of nowhere and blows him up again. And so, rage quit. Just rage quit. He can rage quit faster than any human being alive.
He doesn't get enough shit for that. He brags about his KD constantly. It dashboards every bad game. And if you're not familiar with this, if you exit the game normally, then that game counts towards your accumulated statistics. If you dashboard, then that game just never happened. And he does it all the time, which in itself is kind of bad. Like, you wouldn't want a teammate who did that. But he does it so much that his stats are now fake. He's not a 3 KD player. You can't dashboard that often and then brag about your KD.
So he's basically like the low tier god of first person shooters. Like he's a guy that if he's even starting to lose a little bit or getting a little on tilt, will automatically just jump.
Yeah, he likes to pub stomp, basically. Like he's a pub stomper. So he'll go and he's very good at Call of Duty. Not taking that away from me. He's very good. But he likes the game the way he likes to play it.
Well, yeah, I mean, he may be very good at it, but God, he seems to hate it so much. Like, I've never heard him say a positive thing about it while I've watched these compilations or the stream that I happen to watch. He hated it.
Were there any outlying questions, Jim, that you had about wings?
Well, I guess the biggest question to me would be this: if he got really big and a lot of people were watching him and he was doing really well and pulling in a good amount of money, I can imagine at the time from all the ad revenue and stuff, did he not have any foresight to build a nest egg to save that away for a rainy day so bad things wouldn't happen 5 years later?
Well, if by nest egg you mean purchase 3 new trucks
in a year, and it's 4.
In a year. 4 new trucks in a year. Well, you know what they say: don't invest in real estate, keep it to automobiles.
That's a smart.
They appreciate in value.
It's got a Roush engine. That's what you don't understand. This F-150's got a Roush racing engine in it. Hell, it's worth more now than what I paid.
Wait, Kyle or Woody, both of you know the truck story. You want to enlighten Jim a bit on that?
He bought 2. Woody and I went and visited him New Year's Eve, 2012, 2011, something like that, and we were both blown away by the quality of this man's ride.
It really was
Once again, we questioned our own direction in life, just as we had a couple years prior when he told us he was making $10,000 a month, and neither of us were even close. We were like, I was like, God, I feel like I'm doing well, but goddamn, look at this man's ride. Look at the odometer. Woody and I are both looking at the odometer, the gauges on this thing. They're glowing green. The leather seats, the chrome railings and step bars, the nice wheels and tires. It's immaculate. It smells good. It's beautiful. He bought a new one a couple months later.
The first one wasn't comfy enough.
Wasn't comfy enough.
Did he sell the old one or he just kept it?
Traded it in.
He kept it for a while.
From 1 to 1, yeah.
He didn't trade it in right away. I believe he kept it.
There was a time when he owned 4 vehicles. He had his 2002 Chevrolet, which is what he drives these days. He had I don't remember the years, but let's just call it a 2011 and a 2012 F-150, both the big ones, like 4 doors, leather seats, like Lariats, with 5.7 liter engines and just very nice vehicles. And then he gets a girlfriend. He's like, you need a Tahoe, my love.
Didn't you guys tell me this is even weirder to me then, I guess. Like, if he's such a homebody, right? If he's a guy that hasn't left his town more than 6 times, likes to stay inside, why would he invest so much? Why would he invest so much in automobiles?
Because trucks are a status symbol in not only redneck culture, but specifically, it seems, in his opinion, in his neck of the woods. There was a time when I believe he was talking about his sister. Is that correct? He was talking about how attractive his sister was, and I met the young lady. She's cute. I think, and he said she's good looking. She's dating some guy now though that's got a Honda Civic. I mean, she could get a man with a with a Lariat
Boy,
or
yeah.
or a Chevy 2500 or something. That quality
This is
girl.
a 4-wheel drive quality girl I got here.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's doing messing around with that Honda Civic, boy. She could do much better. It's like,
He's at least an all-wheel drive Subaru.
yeah,
For that. Yeah.
no consideration as to like what this gentleman's personality is like, what his education is like, what his
Career
goals in life
prospects,
are,
right,
what his
right.
means are, where he lives.
What are you driving?
What kind of wheels you got, bro? What's your towing capacity? You got them mud gripping tires? You got flow masters on the back?
So
Hell yeah.
The
You've
reason
done
he's
good, little
driving
girl.
this decked out F-150 with the Roush engine is that is his status as a human. That's his rank.
Yep.
If I could ask you one final question, I guess, because I probably am going to be doing a video on this guy. It's too interesting not to. Where do you think? Because you're much more familiar than I am, right, with this guy. You've interacted with him more. You have more of a history. In a year's time, where do you see him? In 2 years' time, where do you see him? Is he going to still be on the internet, holding on to 20 subs, or is he going to finally have like a eureka moment and get a job or get in shape? Or where do you see it playing out? How do you think this is going to end?
You want to go first?
I think that he won't get the surgery, that the money will get spent on just general living expenses. He's not going to go out and buy a Roush again or whatever, but he'll stream a little less often. There won't be an urgency. He won't be like hungry. He'll live off of the good times that he's had in 2018 because he's making money right now. And then come 2019, we'll start again. And he'll raise money with the promise of a surgery.
His fallback plan has long been to go on to disability if he can get it. So if he could ever swing that, that'll be his lot in life. The money he has right now, let's call it $25,000, could be $35,000. There's a couple of things he could spend that money on. He owes roughly that on his modular home. And by his modular home, I mean his mother's modular home, that they have an agreement with one or another that whenever he pays it off, she'll sign it over to him. Although she's broken that agreement once before when he paid it off, so
Is modular home what you're supposed to call double wides?
it's what he calls a double wide.
Okay.
It's a very fancy name for it. It's very
modular. It's like a couch that you can move around in your living room, right? Modular? No.
Yeah, like a sectional that
I
you can
always call that a
disassemble.
sectional. Yeah.
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 Oh, it's
Well, wait.
cool.
How could she have broken it? So did he take out a second mortgage on it then? If it was already paid
Yeah.
off once, how
She
could
did.
she? Oh, she did.
He paid the house off once, thinking that it was his house, and then she was like, "Second mortgage time," and he's like, "Oh no!" And so now he's paid off the second mortgage up to I don't know, $10,000, something like that, 15, 20, whatever. And so she has told him that the next time he pays it off, she will sell it to him for $1. Essentially.
Oh, she super swears this time. Pinky swear this time. That's it. That is
And
it.
she's reliable. Yeah. No. I think that he actually will lose the weight eventually, and I think it's going to come from some kind of real health thing. Like not like going to the doctor and them saying, "Oh, your heart's a little fucked up" or whatever. Like it's something big is going to happen because you can't age at that weight and continue to gain weight until shit gets real eventually. Like I feel like a heart attack or something like that is going to happen, and that'll actually scare the shit out of him and be like, "I don't want to die." Like, yeah, like this sucks doing Twitch and getting made fun of or whatever and not capitalizing on the many opportunities I've been handed, but I don't want to die. And so, I don't think he'll ever be a fucking triathlete, but I think at some point a big enough scare is going to get him that he will start declining in weight. But who knows about what that will mean for his actual life, if he gets a real job, if he does what.
Well, yeah, I'm probably going to have a video out more than likely by the end of the month or the first week of next month on this. I will put a little, I don't know, maybe like a little poll as a pinned comment so people can come back a year from the video's release just to see if the speculation on where his lot in life would be ends up being close to what it actually is. Because, again, I don't know him, but I don't think he's ever going to get the surgery. I think he's just going to get angrier and angrier, and the sub count's going to keep dropping. And I don't know where he's going to end up, but I don't know. It seems like he really hates what he does, but I can't picture him doing anything else. Does he have any? I don't see like a skill set where he's going to be like, hey, Come, let me work at the Fortune 500 company, or hey, come, let me be an auto mechanic, or hey, let me come do something like this. Because
he was a metallurgical engineer.
That's not actually true, but he said it. So it's kind of,
metallurgical engineer, huh?
Yeah, but he didn't know that aluminum and steel were different things.
No, aluminized steel. Yeah,
I'm very confused.
That's what it
by
was.
all
Yeah.
that. But like, so I've known Wings for 8-9 years now, something like that. Like I knew Wings when I opened my channel. Like I had 38 subs, I think, when I met him. So in all that time, in the last 9 years, he hasn't demonstrated the like get up and do it or bravery to make a change in his life. Instead, for the last 9 years, he's just taken whatever kind of came to him. He doesn't go out and get it. He gets what comes to him. And I haven't seen anything that will imply a different path than that. And what will come to him naturally? Well, the same thing we're watching right now. You know, some pity donations, some streaming, some controller throwing.
I think that someone in his life is going to get a hold of that money, and he's going to be broke again. And, you know, I don't think he's ever going to stop doing what he's doing because it earns well. You know, you know, you've mentioned a couple times he doesn't have quite that many viewers. He's making $5-6 grand a month, you know, and it every month, you know, without fail.
Is he really?
Oh yeah.
Is that from YouTube ad revenue, or is that from?
No. It's from Twitch donations and Twitch subscriptions. You know, each Twitch subscription is paying him a few bucks, and then he gets donations. Like the night that I went on with him, he made $1,500 cash just in donations. And there's been other nights where he'd make $1,200 cash in donations. You know, if there's a couple of fans of ours that are mutual fans, you know, they go back and forth that have money, and they'll go in there and they get in a little bidding war with one another. I gave him 100, and the other guy, I gave him 200. Well, I'll give him 300. And before you know it, between the two guys, they've given him $800 or $900, and then that gets everybody else fired up, and $400 or $500 more will flow in, and you know he makes good money.
He'll put the room in sub only mode, and people will sub so they can still troll him. He makes money.
Yeah, that's true.
He puts it in sub-only mode so that the trolls will be silenced, but then the trolls donate in there. They speak up again. He's he's making money, and you know, like $5 grand a month. What is that? 60 grand a year?
Yes.
It's not rich and famous, but what other jobs do you make 60 grand a year with no skills?
Right.
Yeah, doing it on your own time, just sitting at your computer playing something that, you know, you may say, oh, I hate this video game. It's like, okay, would you rather be doing this or working at McDonald's or renting someone a car at Hertz or whatever the fuck? Like,
and how many
you really didn't like that job.
I don't know how many hours a week he worked, too. Like, I feel like he's making 60 grand a year and, you know, working less than 40 hours a week.
I guess my appraisal was wrong. I thought he was making much less than that. I was going just based on sub numbers and kind of what the activity that I saw on his stream. I thought he was more like around $2 grand a month, if that.
When he tells people, you better fucking donate or on this stream, they do.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, wow, that's fascinating.
He cracks the whip and they fill the coffers.
He's a lion tamer.
Yeah. I like how there's no consideration for his loyal viewers, like in the way he handles the stream, in that someone will write, "You're doing great tonight, Wings. You know, $10 from, you know, whoever 69," and then 2 minutes later he'll be like, "Oh man, that guy made you look awful. He totally outmaneuvered you or whatever the fuck. Like, ban that guy forever and ever. If you question my gaming ability, ban." What was the quote he said? "If you question my gaming ability, mods ban him.
Anyone who questions my gaming
skill, ban them."
Isn't that great?
Like, no, that's not a way that you foster a fun environment of people who want to pay you money.
Right.
That's the way you piss people off.
Who are we to tell him how to make money streaming, right? I got a $10.99 really from Twitch. I made $23 last year.
Damn!
I should be asking him for help.
Yeah, I still get my machinima checks. I haven't uploaded anything since 2013, and it's like, for a while I was hoping like just to get below $400 so I don't have to like talk about this on my taxes, you know, because if it's any more than 400, at least anyway. In Missouri it is. But
okay, yeah.
So I have another question about your corner of the internet, sure. Jim. If I'm trying to get up to speed on all this blood sports shit and the fun streams, because it does have kind of like a more argumentative O&A vibe to it, where it's just making fun of each other, which we're all fans of that show. We like it a lot. I think it's influenced a lot of online shows. Where do I start? Because it seems like there's fucking 500 channels doing it and so many characters, quote unquote, to follow. Like, where should I go?
Well, I mean, if you're looking for more like the O&A vibe, like a kind of a Jocktober thing, I'd say go with Morning Kumite, which is pretty good. I mean, he does it, morning from like maybe 10 to noon to 1 o'clock, somewhere in there. So it's about a 3-hour chunk, 5 days a week. And it's got a nice little vibe to it. It's more laid back. There's a lot of stuff. But I mean, there are a lot of clipping channels. So I get it. Not everybody's got time to invest in these ridiculous streams that go on for way too long. So there's Kronos, who kind of clips them out and then gives you a basic idea of what's going on, because it's hard to digest that much stuff. So a 20-minute section makes it much, much easier to kind of enjoy it. That would be my recommendation. But yeah, they've done pretty well for themselves. I mean, when Worski had his big debate, I think it was Richard Spencer and Sargon of Akkad, I think he made, going on Super Chats, probably around $10,000 to $15,000 that night. Like, I mean, there's an audience for that crap. Even the Morning Kumite, it's pulling like 2,000 or 3,000 viewers, and I'd say maybe they're making 20,000 to 30,000. So I'm expecting more of these to kind of pop up because people like Jerry Springer, and then the people that host this stuff like making money. So it's kind of like a perfect combination. I just want a nice shit show to watch. I just want to watch people scream at each other, and I'm happy. I'm content with that. So I'd recommend Morning Kumite, or I'd recommend Kronos if you want the small clips.
Do you ever do videos? Maybe you have. I haven't seen them. Where you actually get into your real beliefs on shit, or are you pretty staunchly in the I just want to watch a shit show and laugh at idiots camp?
I have on a few beliefs. I don't like kind of like the sanitization, I guess you could say, online that we kind of see play out everywhere, where it seems to get more and more restrictive on what you can say and how you can interact. Terms of service get upgraded. I mean, look at YouTube. Content creators here are kind of walking on eggshells when they make certain videos at this point. I mean, Twitch has gotten to the point where I know certain streamers are scared to have a Twitter account anymore or a Facebook account, because something they say there can get them banned on Twitch now. So I'm against that. I don't like that. And obviously I don't like pedophiles. I think is a safe one to say. I don't think anybody else is going to
really sticking your neck out there.
Really stick my neck out there. But I mostly use the internet for what I always have used it for, which is just laughing at dumb shit and trying to get some entertainment. That's about it.
I have a question. I don't know if you can answer it quickly, but I don't understand Gamergate. I have no idea. I don't get it. It's been explained to me. What are you, like one of the originators of Gamergate? What's Gamergate?
If I had to sum it up and give you like the short and dirty of it, I'd say maybe for like 2 years before that, right before Gamergate became a thing, you had a lot of outlets writing kind of articles that were shitting on their audience. Gamers are terrible. Gamers are toxic. Trolls are terrible. Nobody can play games anymore. We need more restrictions. We need more. I mean, look at where Overwatch is now, where you make a joke and you're banned. You do something they don't like and you're banned. Anything even outside the game. I mean, Overwatch has a thing built in at this point where they're looking for content. So you're not even getting reported anymore. They have things that look for content on YouTube, and if they find something with your handle on it, you're banned. And so it was really negative attitude towards what a gamer was or what people in gaming were like. And then Gamergate kind of comes around. It comes to a head where you've got an indie game dev who's friends with people in the industry and who's friends with different people at different news outlets like Kotaku, like Nathan Grayson and stuff like that. And you start to see this really weird kind of interaction behind the scenes where they're all buddies and they're all, have these relationships, dating relationships, and they're kind of covering each other's back. And it just was really screwed up. And that kind of kickstarted it. And then about a week or two after that, I think it was about 13 different outlets all released articles within an hour of each other that said, gamers are dead. Gamers don't exist anymore. We don't care about gamers. We don't need you anymore. And it made that initial feeling of, wow, they kind of seem slimy. It's like they have kind of a backroom deal with each other to promote each other. And it's not really about, is it a good game or not? It's about who you know in the industry. And then all these articles come out and they're all saying the same thing. And it was just really shitty. I mean, I was in that for about, I'd say like 3 months. And then I felt it got a little too retarded and I
ducked out.
I walked away. I ducked out. Yeah.
Okay.
If you were to poll the room of people that were in that, or paying attention to it, you're going to get 100 different answers. I mean, you've got demographics from all over the internet. You had Reddit, you had Tumblr, you had 4chan, you had YouTubers, you had Let's Players. They all had different reasons for being attracted to it or being interested in it.
Yeah, I thought it had something to do with feminism or something. But I can see how tangentially.
There was a good, yeah, well, I mean, there was a good portion of it that was related to, social justice or the PC culture, because a lot of the articles getting pushed talking about how gamers were shit seemed to kind of really hone in on the fact that if you were a white guy or a straight white guy that played games, you were the devil, was kind of the approach they took. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Anything I say about it is going to piss off a group of people. If I give one opinion one way, the people that were in it are going to hate me, and if I give you opinion the other way, the people that were against it are going to hate me. There's no good answer I can give you that's not going to get me a metric ton of shit.
I don't think you mind the shit though. I think you want a little bit of fun waiting around in it, right?
I actually. Well, there is a breaking point. I mean, right now I'm involved. Like I said, it went from Baked Alaska calling him a sellout to having the Pentagon involved. So I've got that show going on. I've got a bunch of MRAs that are really angry at me right now, so I've got that going on. I've got
not MRAs. That's a dozen of people.
I know, a whole 14 of them. I've got a group of bronies that are angry at me because they had
not them.
They had a group.
They're violent.
Yeah, there was some bizarre Skype call got released of this guy admitting to trying to have sex with a 12-year-old, so
full circle.
I full circle, like I said. So I mean, there's so much shit going on, but I don't really have a great answer for you on what Gamergate was, other than a reaction from the consumer against what they saw as kind of like an intermediary or an unnecessary cog. Like, it used to feel like if you were a gamer, there were the companies, right? The guys that made the video games, and you may shit talk a game, and the company that makes it may think you're an idiot for doing so, but it was kind of that back and forth rapport. But somewhere along the lines, the media got kind of in the middle of that and started telling developers what gamers thought and started telling gamers what developers thought, and that connection was lost. That interference kind of started to play a part. And I think it was a good pushback against that as well. That'd be I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling now.
I'm curious about this. So you seem to be in the middle of some real stuff. You're dox proof, I suppose. No one knows your name or where you live. You're just on my screen a black box where people can't.
Well, thanks for putting the bullseye on me.
Yeah,
that's nice. Every time you say something like you're dox proof, it's basically, hey, come fuck with this guy.
Oh, dude,
you don't want to say it like that.
If you, one thing I've learned, and Anthony Cumia.
So tell me, Jim, you were saying earlier that you're completely untouchable. That
you're an invincible god of the internet.
Like if you make an audience out of like poking at people, the audience will poke at you. Expect that.
Oh my God, yeah.
Right?
Oh, no,
Anthony Cumia is like, it's shocking. All the people that watch us are terrible fans. And it's like, right, you're looking in the mirror, and so are we. Like, our fan base pokes at me every day, and it's for the memes. It's what you get. That's where you are.
Yeah, you don't want to play with fire if you're afraid of getting burned, obviously. I mean, yeah, I know what I'm appealing to, and I know the kind of content I like to make. And the stuff I like to laugh at is always going to bring kind of with it a backlash, but I've been doing this shit for a while. I mean, if you go look up a school shooter North American Tour 2012 was a mod we made for Half-Life as a joke. That's listed in a Supreme Court decision. So, I've been fucking around on the internet for a while, doing stuff that draws attention.
That was the one where at the end of the game you had to commit suicide before the cops got you, right?
That's correct. That is correct.
Thought so. I'm a bit of a completionist. 1,000 gamer score on that one.
But so you do something goofy, it gets a reaction. You're gonna obviously get some pushback on that. But I think at the end of the day, the people that watch the videos more so do it because they just find the shit weird, right? Even the Deviants videos that I did where I was looking at weird subgroups and fetish groups, I had people in those communities sending me emails and fan art saying, yeah, they're goofy fuckers. We think it's funny too. So it's one of those things. I think everybody likes to laugh at shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That actually like parlays into something. I even wrote it down because I wanted to ask you. You've poked and prodded and trolled so many different groups and subsections and communities on the internet. What was the biggest shit fit that any of them threw? Because I'm sure there were some that you poked at and were like, I don't really care. But there have to be one or a couple where you were blown away by how pissed or how much they tried to do to get back at you.
Shit. You're going over like 8 years of screwing around on the internet here.
I know. Sorry, putting you on the spot.
If I had to pin it down to the group that really got the angriest, I would say it would be the adult baby diaper lovers.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adult baby diaper lovers, diaper furs, didn't like getting laughed at. I had people that presented themselves as gay bears, like in a bear suit, saying they were going to show up at my house and shoot me with a shotgun because I laughed.
In the bear suit.
In the bear suit, yeah. Big gay bear showing up at your front door with a shotgun is a hell of an image in your head. And they got angry at me for that because there was a particular person in their community who flagged a couple of my videos making fun of them. YouTube reversed it because there wasn't anything violating terms of service in the videos, but they didn't like the videos and where they were going because this person in particular bragged on their social media accounts and on forums they'd been on that they were defrauding the government, that they were using their fetish and saying that it was actually a medical condition, so they'd give them disability. When
they were medically a furry or a baby diaper lover or whatever?
Yeah, here's the thing. So they would wear the diapers to fetish role play, but they told the government, I need to wear the diapers because I'm incontinent. So they'd get the disability money. So the government would pay for their kinky sex. And I found the evidence of that, and they were very upset about that. So that, I think, is what sparked the community to get angry.
Howard Stern did a whole thing on the adult baby diaper wearing people. I guess they have conventions, where I'm not exaggerating. They fill up these halls with like-minded individuals, and I think there are two sides to the coin. There are the daddies and the babies, right? So, or at least in the one that I was looking, the particular thing that they were looking into, what the fetish was that you had a grown man who was the baby and he would be in a diaper, and you had a grown man who was the daddy and he would be changing the diaper. And there were two variants even still of the babies. There were those who pooped in the diapers and those who only peed in the diapers. And their fantasies were yeah, and they had different
Right.
They had different role play going on. Some of the gentlemen who would play the baby role would take on the role of a toddler, like a 3-year-old. And they had a mental idea of what they were. They were questioned by a Howard Stern staffer, like, well, how old are you in make-believe terms? And like, well, sometimes I'm like 8 months old and I can't even talk. I can't even tell him what I want. But sometimes I'm like a 4-year-old, so I can kind of talk to him in baby garble and tell him what I want him to do. And if I'm naughty, he'll make me sit in my poopy diaper. And they're just going back and forth with all this madness. It's hilarious because one of the Howard Stern staffers is there with a microphone asking the hard-hitting questions of these baby diaper aficionados. It's fucking great. And then, of course, the cloppers, the people who were into I think they're similar to bronies, cloppers.
Yeah, the My Little Pony people, yeah.
Okay. Cloppers are like My Little Pony people who sexualize it, I believe.
Yeah.
Although there's different subsects of each of these groups.
It's not weird enough that you're really into this little girl's cartoon. You have to want to fuck the pony too.
Yes, they sexualize the ponies, and I gotta say,
this is why we need fathers in the home.
And not fathers wearing diapers, preferably. Yeah, it's disturbing. I remember the first
Kyle,
time.
real quick, can I ask? The diaper thing, Jim probably knows too. Is the fetish for them that they enjoy sitting in their own poop and whatnot and being treated like a baby, or are they like being stripped down, baby wiped off, and then being fucked as they're role playing? Like
it's twofold, I think. I mean, I think you have the people that just like the idea of being in a diaper and shitting themselves, but I think the majority would fall into the little category, which are the people that want to role play as a little baby or a toddler, and then sexualize it with their partner, which gets even weirder. Like ABDL had some, and a lot of the sites I cover are public ones. Like if I mentioned DeviantArt, you'd think it's just a bunch of like people drawing Sonic shit or something like that. But you go there and you start seeing all of this stuff, and you take off the adult filter, where they'll show you everything that's on the site, and you're like, holy crap, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I watched your Sonic video on DeviantArt, which, by the way, thank you for introducing me to DeviantArt. I knew what it was, but I'd never gone over there because I thought it was just people like posting like their cool wallpapers or something. Yeah. And so when I saw your DeviantArt series, and it was like, Sonic, what could be, weird about that? And then it's like Sonic wanting to be like fucked and then eaten by Tails or something like that. It was a little macabre, but it was like, God, I need to go poke around this site. And so I did, and I found Vor, which I'm sure you know what that is. Well, if you made one of those, I didn't see it. But
there's so much of it. I mean, the thing that got me into the DeviantArt series was we're trying to find the most absurd stuff, and there's one guy, I think the username was Blueberry Bitches. And it's a guy that wants to have a bike pump shoved up his ass, and he paints himself purple because he wants to be a living blueberry.
like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, there's so much chocolate. This is like a little German fuck.
And I was like, that's too good to pass up. So I did a video on that. And then I started looking at the other stuff, and I was like, there's a lot of material to work with here for this particular community.
Oh, I think I saw that one too. So I've been binging your videos. Is that the one where like it's like those really like semi-erotic videos of like a woman like standing in a garage and suddenly like her hands explode into wheels and she's like, what's happening to me? And she just like turns into a VW bug or some shit, like, like some other dude will walk in and like fuck her in the tailpipe. Maybe I made that part up.
Yeah, the transformation videos. Yeah, there's some really weird shit on the website. And that's the thing. I mean, DeviantArt's been like that forever. We used to do articles about it back in 2012, 2013 for DeviantArt Coalition for Quality Control, laughing at it. I mean, it's consistently weird.
Where do we draw the line? And this is a serious question to the group here. Mm-hmm. Where did we draw the line with accepting these fetishes? But all right, so we had just remind me, who was the furry guest we had? It was Your Movie Sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. Yeah, his channel's called Your Movie Sucks. He does film reviews. He's a furry, a gay furry at that. I was okay. I was like, all right, cool. I got no problem with that. I accept your
fetish. We all have our things.
We all have our things, right? Like you're telling me that you like to dress up as a blue dog and have another man dress up as a blue dog and you two get it on. Nobody's getting hurt. I mean, unless they wanted to. And maybe the dry cleaner gets a little extra business, right? If somebody's got to clean those costumes off at the end of the day.
Koreans
I got no
love
problem
furries.
with your fetish. It's not mine. But I can sort of understand it because, I like when girls wear lingerie, right? Like you're not that far off from that if you're dressing. Like I kind of like those dirty pictures on Reddit.
Don't pretend like that's not super far off.
What about when the girls have like the little like bunny ears on and they're like, ooh, 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 like being all cutesy.
And then like the rest of the bunny outfit.
When they use the black lipstick and make the nose. Just me?
It's not like,
you just kind of like nibble on your dick like it's one of those watering spigots.
I just feed her carrots all day. No, like what I'm saying is like I'm accepting of that. I don't quite get it, but I'm fine with it. Like where do we draw the line though?
Lead the way with what where you think the line is.
Well, I've got to say like certainly when anyone like pedophilia is obviously a line that I think we can all agree upon because there's a participant there, if you can call the child that, who is either unwilling or unable to make the decision to be unwilling because of immaturity. So that's a clear line. But beyond that, we've all said that we think bestiality is okay as long as the animal is doing the fucking.
Or big enough to refuse the fucking.
Or if the animal is large enough to refuse said fucking.
If you are fucking a chicken, wildly inappropriate, you should go to jail. That chicken can't escape.
But if you are fucking
a tiger or a moose or something on a moose on a step stool, whatever the fuck you'd have to do, like that moose at any point can go, I'm not feeling this, and kill you. So I think that's a risk you take.
You show me the man who fucked a Bengal tiger in the pussy, and I want to shake his hand.
Yeah. That tiger, he must be pretty good.
Are you familiar with Mr. Hands at all, by the way?
Oh, the guy who got fucked to death by the horse. That's old internet.
Yeah. So Mr. Hands was a dude that went to a farm because he wanted to get fucked by a stallion. But his buddies, I guess, didn't think it through. Nobody really thought, well, wait a minute, if it's like a 2-foot horse cock and, how far are your organs inside of you? So he got like everything torn apart.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what to do because this horse ranch catered to gay men getting fucked by horses. So they didn't want to call an ambulance. So they just dropped him off at the ER rang the doorbell and took off, and he died from his injuries.
Wait, did this guy
Jesus
have
Christ.
like a lightweight intestine? If there's a horse farm that caters
Oh,
to gay men
there's
getting fucked in the ass, was this guy just not good at getting fucked?
Well, no, there's a video of this, by the way.
I
Dude,
think
but
I've
there's
seen
like, it's not just you're getting fucked by a horse cock. You're getting fucked by the power of a horse.
Yeah.
We've
Yes.
used them for
Horsepower,
centuries
yeah.
to tow and do things.
About a
we
horsepower.
can't do. Yeah, it's 1 horsepower of cock.
It's actually 2, to be fair, but that doesn't matter.
Okay, it's 2 horsepower of cock pummeling your asshole, and then your colon, and then your intestines, and then just
But
the rest.
I just feel like if there's a farm that caters to gay men getting fucked by horses, and one guy got hurt, what's with the one guy? He didn't
Well,
bring
Oh, you
lube?
don't think they had an OSHA representative there earlier in the day to go, hey, this cock isn't regulation.
I just apparently these other people are doing it, and there isn't any trouble. What's different about this guy? Is he small?
No, I can tell you. It's fucking sad that I know this, but I remember when this video was being passed around and the explanation that was offered for it. From what I understand, they were supposed to have a helper that was supposed to use their hands to create like a
buffer.
Yeah, a buffer.
Yeah,
a buffer
yeah. There's a little
thing out.
collar.
Yeah, a little collar to make sure he didn't go full bore. But this guy's like, fuck it, I want the whole thing. And there's a moment when this is happening after the horse is fully inside of him where you hear him make this kind of grunt that no person should ever make. Where it's like the grunt of, I've made a serious fucking mistake and something is very badly injured. But nobody could get the horse off him because the horse is going full bore on it. So after the horse finished up, they carted him off the ER, dropped him at the door, and said, "Nice day to you, sir."
Wow, they
Best of
couldn't
luck.
get the horse off him? Like he didn't respond to a slap on the ass?
I don't know if you
No.
should be. Well,
One of
you
those
gotta-
riding whips?
Well, remember, it's a gay horse because it's at the gay bar, fucking all these men.
What if
So-
hitting him with that
What you
crop on
asked
either
for.
side just sped him up?
I don't know if they had like a cowboy on hand to come tame him when he's fucking somebody hard.
Why would you, if you're running a gay horse farm, why would you rely on an assistant to put their hands there? Like, you know how when you're going to the gym and you slide that thing onto it to hold the weights on? Get a couple of those, slide them on there,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not going to have a problem. God, if I ran a gay horse farm, we would have no liability problem.
He
God.
was not thinking of the logistics, but that was a brutal fucking video.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough. I mean, yeah, he was asking for it though. Like that's the kind of thing, like when someone's like, you know, when you go to get fucked by a horse and you die,
Yeah, I
you
know.
kind of have a hard time feeling sorry
Yeah.
for him because he went to go get fucked by a horse and he died. It's like
He
like,
knew.
if any of us were standing there, we'd been like, hey, it's gonna kill you.
This, you see,
Told
that is why
Yeah.
I, and I'm just speaking for me, cut it off at donkeys and ponies.
Ponies, you want a pony?
Mm-hmm. Horses,
I-
too much.
I think.
Well,
as
yeah,
far-
this wasn't like a little horse either. Like this is a big bad
Oh, it's a big
motherfucking
boy.
stallion. Like yeah,
Yeah.
he was going for the top of the line on this one.
You really want to get fucked by a donkey or something.
like a breeding stallion. At that. God, what a fucking degenerate. Well, he was one, I guess.
Yeah,
Not anymore. Well,
It-
Kyle,
it-
where's your line?
My line, I don't know, man. Like the people whose fetish intrudes upon the lives of people who aren't into it. Like if your thing was doing something in public, for example, I think that's, and by public I don't mean like in a car in a parking lot. Like if it's
Okay,
out
good.
there for like
on
women
the
and
subway.
women, folk, and children to see. Like that's not cool. So there's those guys that like masturbate onto women in public. That's a thing. Like I've seen videos of that where the
Well, that's
dude's
a
thing.
crime.
Yeah, the dude like gets himself this close to coming, and then he's just looking for a pretty lady. Like she'll be sitting at the bus stop or on a bench or something, and he just comes up next to her and just blows a load on her shoulder, and she doesn't even notice because like. I mean, you know, you're going about your day. You're probably on your iPhone or something,
Smells
reading the news.
bleachy all of a sudden. Yeah.
And she just walks away, and he's filming it. He's like, "Look at her walk away with my load on her." That's fucked. So things like that are obvious, but I don't know. I just have a hard time getting down with the adult baby diaper people. Like
That one doesn't bother
Dep-
me. So long as it is everyone involved is
Pampers
a
love it.
happy participant, knock yourself out.
Yeah, I actually agree with Woody on that one. Like, as long as they're both consensual and enjoying it, like, I look at it with revulsion in my heart
Yeah.
Like, that's awful. You probably shouldn't do that. If there's a child in the house, you probably shouldn't be walking around with a diaper.
Well, that's
You
where
know,
the
who knows
diapers
what
come
psychological scarring. Yeah. But as long as it's human
Mm.
or an animal smaller than you, I don't think
Larger.
it should
Bigger
be
than you.
crime. Or, yes, larger.
from. Yeah, you don't want to go bullying ducks, you jerk.
No. And we know Jim's strong stance against bullying. I'm disappointed that I don't see your I was expecting to see your whatever the fuck show, that cartoon kid dancing around in the Billy No Bully shirt.
My line isn't really a line. I draw it at absurd things, obviously, or illegal things like pedophilia, obviously, and I'd agree too. If you're doing something in public and jacking off on somebody, obviously you should get your ass thrown in prison.
Yeah.
But my stance on it more is just being able to laugh at it. I mean, it's goofy shit. Whether you think it's permissible or you think it's weird or not, it's nice to be able to look at it and say, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. I think I'll laugh at that for a little bit.
I think that's kind of what I was getting at. I think it got kind of construed into a legal or illegal thing, but I accept what our guest was into, and I wouldn't laugh at what he's into because I don't know why, but I don't draw the line there.
I would laugh at what he was into.
You didn't, though, did you? You didn't laugh to his face.
Was I on that show?
I don't. Oh, you weren't there.
I wasn't
Would
there.
you have laughed in his face when he?
Of a guy who goes, I like to dress up as Kermit the Frog and, give it to someone dressed up as Grover.
To be fair, I believe he was the bottom in that situation. But yeah. Basically, he
It
described the
depends
scenario.
how funny the characters are. Like, if he's the Hamburglar or something, then it's hilarious. It's great.
He didn't say, I don't think.
Who knows?
Oh,
yeah. I
it says
mean,
he
you
was
should
a
be able
blue
to do it.
fox.
Yeah,
Blue Fox. Have you noticed, like,
Swiper,
the same
no
thing with
swiping.
all those otherkin? It's like a place in Tumblr where people are like, I'm not a human, I'm a dragonkin. I can feel my wings fluttering when I get nervous and shit. They're never shitty animals that they identify as. They're always foxes or dragons or tigers or lions or sea serpents or an angel. Like, they're never like, I identify as, a
Armadillo.
raccoon going through the garbage or an armadillo. It's only the cool ones. Anyway, that's far beyond anything here. Just now in a mindset of trying to think of fucked up shit I've seen on the internet.
Yeah, that's what's enjoyable about the internet. Again, that's kind of my interest in it. I like looking at goofy shit and laughing at it. Really, at the end of the day, that's kind of all I'm here for, because it's full of it. You can't look at one corner of the internet and not find something absurd.
Yeah, I can't imagine how much real effort and research goes into a lot of, especially your internet insanity videos. That series is fucking hysterical.
The Game Dude one was the best, I think, because that guy went off the rails. That was a dude that wanted to be the next James Rolfe. He was going to be like the next Chris Bores. And then you find out that he had like a psychotic break and was filming. He like ran and he fled the country because he was stalking a girlfriend, and ended up filming dinosaur movies where he's replaying moments in his relationship for 3 hours on a beach in like Mexico.
It just something occurred to me that I have to say. I think Mr. Metokur would really like Shoe Nice.
Oh, he's done a video on him.
He's done a
did
video on
him.
Shoe Nice.
Yeah, did one on him.
I'm late,
He was a
but I
guest
was
on
on
our
target.
Good call. Good call, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, you would like Shoe Nice. I guess
He
you
did.
Yeah, you'll have to pour through Jim's content. Very, very funny shit. I like the hug box stuff. I wish you should do some more of those if you're not working on them.
Yeah, I'll probably end up doing one based on the reaction of the baked thing going from, again, calling him a sellout to getting the Pentagon involved. I really hope that's true, by the way. I hope somebody actually goes to talk to a general about this ridiculous shit, because that would be funny to me. It's so absurd and so ridiculous. That would be great. But I appreciate you guys having me on here, especially for all the wing stuff, because that is going to be most definitely helpful, and the insights kind of into who he is and his background. I really, really appreciate that.
For sure,
Yeah,
dude. Welcome back anytime.
I'm glad that you hit us up, because we are truly Wings Redemption aficionados, historians, laureates.
There is no better resource outside of his own.
There
mother and
truly is
grandmother.
not. I've lived with the man. I've eaten with the man. He puts A1 steak sauce on his Mexican food. Okay, this is a unique kind of individual, and I got the skinny, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again, guys.
All right,
I had a
man.
good time. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
for
coming.
sure. Talk to you later.